Hello, 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 everyone. We return. We return to Fan. We return to Fan. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on. Let's stop sharing this and let's do this. There's not a lot of people in here right now, so that's good because I can find some Marcus. I have a cool Marcus playlist for emergencies. And as we wait for Fan, we will watch some classics. We will watch some classics. And let me see, where can we start? We'll just start right about... Fuck it. We'll just start at the top, dude. Classic Marcus all the way down. Fuck it, fuck it. Shout outs to RFL Gator Video Archive. VR on demand. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Total Eclipse. Jamarcus McMarcus. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Jenn McCabe Arcus. Let me see what's going on with maybe I can import that photo from Twitter so we can have it whenever Jenn gets sassy on cross. My Jamarcus McCabe. I would like to have that for the entirety of the trial. I would like to have that ready to go. How are you doing, Reggie Ray? Hello, hello. Let's go ahead and save that image. I should have did that to begin with. Now, look, I don't know how much longer I can go on this because I do have some shit that I do need to finish. I started doing some work and then I'm like, yikes, I got to do quite a bit today. So, but I do want to finish seeing Jenn, and I know now's the time. I know now's the time with you kids. Okay, let's save Jamarcus and we'll bring it into the lexicon. We'll bring it in. We'll have it on tap, ready to fucking go. All right, well, while we're waiting, and I got Fan over here, okay, and I can just peep Fan and see how that's going. And we'll just switch over to that tab whenever we're done. For now, add and put some Marcus on for you kids, okay? We could just have fun in the chat. Maybe we'll do a call if it takes too long.
Get up. I grab you. Get up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Marcus. I'm sorry.
You're fine, man. All right. I'm gonna go do those interviews now. All right. This guy's gonna take care of everything.
I'm going to fuck you.
Okay. Don't fuck me. Please don't
Marcus,
fuck me.
We're in a public setting, you know? I don't think we can do that here, Marcus.
Oh my god.
Okay, that's good. He understands.
I didn't mean it.
Oh, okay. That is just a joke, or?
I can't get down. It's too high.
Marcus, just let go.
I'm scared.
Just let go.
Robert, help.
Okay, this music is not suiting for what's happening right now. This is very out of...
Robert,
what do you want me to do? You're so high up. All right, I have you. Are you okay? Are you okay?
You've saved me again.
Did I?
I owe you my life.
Thanks, Marcus. Marcus, look, if corporate finds out that I'm allowing a wow, that was a sick roll, actually. If they find out that I'm letting a fugitive in here, they're gonna be mad at me.
It's about music came out. These illustrious fresh teriyaki steaks. He's been eyeing this bottom one for the past 10 minutes.
This bottom one is very, very interesting. They said the Eastern teriyaki they come from the cold.
Get out.
Marcus, hold on. Marcus, just stay quiet for 1 second, Marcus. Sorry. Yeah, that bottom piece of steak, that's the new Chinese meat that they do. You know how they eat everything raw there. It's actually it's still alive. We actually
I love it.
We cook it in front of the customers.
It cost my 45K months across the metropolitan area. I really like to see the innovations like this.
No, I totally understand what you just said. Yes.
And we still have fan going.
Now tell me about this one on the top shelf. Now what am I looking at? Now where is she?
I have
now,
no idea.
Now what is she?
What did he do now?
New stuff. We heard the rumors, the COVID-16.
Robert, you
Marcus,
want some wasps?
Bees around it. No, I don't. I don't need wasps. Hold on. I'll be right.
Getting these.
Are you sure?
Where did you get wasps, and why are they circling around you?
Yeah, there's a lot of people on the other
side. How much time we took getting these? This took way too much time. Please.
Check this out. Check this out. Look what's in here. Look what we got now. Boom, bitch. Boom, bitch. It's Jamarcus McCabe. It's Jamarcus. We have Jamarcus. Everyone say hello. So we now have that. That's fun.
They're wasps.
Just have them.
I don't want them. Marcus, look. All right.
They're for you.
It's rude to not accept a gift.
Okay, thanks. All right. I'm surrounded by wasps. All right. I hope I don't get stung.
Very good.
Thanks, Marcus. I really appreciate it.
Glad like them. Kissy.
Oh,
I can't clap.
Thank you very much.
I can't clap.
All the
Yeah,
other
by the way,
filter
they
lights
are
are
watching it fucking sorry. They are watching it fucking everywhere. And I was like, I went into like one or two other chats to see like, what's going on in here. Is that everybody's just kind of waiting to have the fan going, But even in the ones with the fan, it's like, bah, 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 bah. It's so hard to read, and everybody's just fucking everywhere. And someone will throw out a nasty thing, and then 50 people will attack them. And then one person will throw out something not nasty, just a nice, normal opinion, but their opinion. Then everyone will attack them. And then it's like, God damn, this is just where you go to get swarmed by wasps. And then in here, it's like, hey, watch Marcus swarm Robert with wasps. So it's a bit counterproductive what I got going on here, but you know what? At least I don't have to try to read good. There's too much. It's like right now the fan is going on NBC Boston. It's fucking crazy how fast the chat is going. I can't understand it. The production of this video is very good. Shout outs to whoever did this one.
No one talks to me. They think I am unstable. Committing atrocities in their name.
Oh shit, it's back. All right, is it sharing that tab instead? Okay, let's stop sharing this tab. All right, well, fuck. What just happened? Okay, sorry, everyone. My browser lost touch with reality. Give me 1 second. They're back. All right, here we go. We're getting into it, everybody. Let's pop this bad boy back up. Let me know if you guys can hear it okay, all right? Well, you probably aren't going to hear anything right now, but let's see. Let's see what's going on here. Let me reload this page just in case. Just in case. It's not making any noise yet, but let's see. Yeah, they have it off, I guess. It looks like we got a sidebar. We're going to put an H on this box so everyone knows there's hornets on it. Everybody awake and okay? Is everybody awake and okay? Are you ready? Are we going to finish this shit? Is this going to finish today? I don't know, but it's fucking Jenn McCabe day. That's happening. And for those of you who aren't awake, here you go. And if you're not awake, it's probably because...
Hi. You're both high.
It may as well. Well, I was gonna say let's sage it, but I don't know. I don't want this shit to pop back on. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna watch it, and as soon as they turn the shit back on, we'll be right back, okay?
Sorry about
Jack.
Couldn't get started on time.
And we're
so,
back.
These old courthouses.
You guys
so-
got tricked.
All right, we appreciate your patience. Go ahead, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. McCabe, when you first saw Ms. Reed's SUV pull up, very shortly thereafter, you sent a text to John O'Keefe, correct?
I walked to the door, saw the car, and that's when I sent him a text, yes.
Right. So you walked up to the door, saw the SUV outside, and then texted him something at that, basically while you're standing at the door.
I believe so, yes.
What did you text him?
Here?
Okay. That was, do you remember the time?
I don't know.
Would it refresh your recollection if you were to look at a series of text messages contained in a Celebrate report? I think you've seen this before.
Sure.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. May I ask one foundational question before
Okay.
I give this to the witness? Ms. McCabe, I'm going to ask you about a series of text messages. It's not a memory contest in terms of the timing. I'm going to ask you about probably 5 or so. All of those purport to be contained in here. Do you remember the times of those 5 texts?
I don't off the top of my head.
Do you think it would refresh your recollection to look at all those in one felled swoop as you look at this document? So I don't
Sure.
have to go back and forth?
Are these in evidence?
This is not in evidence to my knowledge. Not yet.
Would it help you to remember?
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you bring it to Ms. McCabe?
Thank you.
Thank you. This is just my signature. This one is. Yeah, I just think it's so much. I might turn to that. Ms. McCabe, if you wouldn't mind, take a look at the tabs, not that whole document.
Okay.
2 days. Take a look at the tabs and go in reverse chronological order and see if that refreshes your recollection about the time and content of text messages that you sent to Mr. O'Keefe those early that early morning of January 29th.
Okay. Yes.
May I approach?
Yes.
May I approach? Hey, hold up.
I'm
So,
not going to have to remember the exact times of all 5, am I?
I'll help.
Okay, thank you.
oh shit, dude. She does have Roman Reigns teeth.
McCabe,
Hold on, I'll
did
ask
you
you a
see a
minute.
text on here that was consistent with your memory that you texted here?
Yes.
And was that at 12:14? I'm sorry, at 12:27 a.m.
I don't know if exactly. I'm assuming if it's on that paper.
If I may have just a moment, Your Honor.
Mary Malarkey. Hey, Mary. How are you doing? Yeah, we're trying to make it. We had to cut off the stream for a 30-minute lunch break. I have no idea how long we went, though. I think we went like 4. I don't know how long it was. Could have been 4 or 5. I think the most we did so far was the policy procedures one, which was just insane. That was supposed to be like an hour. Shit was like fucking 8 hours. That was fucking crazy. So wait, so who said, hold on, Papa's got to come back and ask questions. I wanted to wait. Also, yes, I'm so glad you're here, Mary. Welcome, Mary. Welcome. Thank you for joining us, Mary. This is church. So, first of all, why'd they make Paul move? Because he was mean mugging Karen? That shit was like, if he was really sitting there just to stare directly at her, that's fucked up. Like, they shouldn't have ever let him do that to begin with, especially considering on account of he was testifying, right? At least in the first trial he was. They brought him up there and asked him questions, didn't they? So isn't that witness intimidation? It's the same as when they let fucking Jenn and old bald boy fucking sit there and stare at the fucking jury. And to
Ms. McCabe.
have a jury say, yo, they was intimidating me and no one did shit, that was fucking crazy. That was fucking crazy.
We're going to make it a little easier for you, okay?
Make it easier for you, honey. All right, let's speed it up. I'll shut the fuck up now.
May I?
Yes.
Your Honor, I would offer the following stipulation at 12:14:27 on January 29th, 2022. Text message from Jenn McCabe to, text message from John O'Keefe's phone to Jenn McCabe's phone. Where to? At 12:20, all these are on January 29th, 2022. At 12:27:33 from Jennifer McCabe's phone to John O'Keefe's phone. Here, exclamation point, question mark. Same date, 12:31:47 from Jenn McCabe's phone to John O'Keefe's phone. Pull behind me. Same date, 12:40:31 from Jenn McCabe's phone to John O'Keefe's phone. Hello. 12:42:09. Text message from Jennifer McCabe's phone to John O'Keefe's phone. Where are the letter U?
Okay, thank you.
Finally, 12:45:53 from Jenn McCabe's phone to John O'Keefe's phone. Hello. I would offer the stipulation that those are correct times and dates and content of the text messages between John O'Keefe's phone and Jennifer McCabe's phone on January 29, 2022.
All right, and that's what you're agreeing to, Mr. Brennan?
Yes, Your Honor, is contained in the Celebrate report.
Okay. All right, folks. So I told you yesterday about
Yes.
the stipulation when I talked about something in the front line.
Yeah, she's in the back with
This
Paul.
is similar. So what you just heard,
Thank you, Paul.
both lawyers agree that that's information contained in his Celebrate report.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I continue?
Yes.
At some point, you indicated that, and by the way, Ms. McCabe, at 12:27, it's now been stipulated to, you texted a single word, here, exclamation point, question mark, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, Tiff. Good to have you
You
here.
indicate that you saw the SUV move up after it was in front of the 34 Fairview residence. It moved up some number of feet, correct?
The next time I looked, it was at a different location.
Right. Now, you did not see the white Jeep move from the place that you originally saw it in front of the mailbox, correct?
I never looked out at the white Jeep.
But you never saw that move ever.
No.
As a matter of fact, Mr. Higgins, that Jeep was in the same spot while Mr. Higgins was inside the residence until he left, correct?
That's what I would assume, yes.
Okay. And you never saw him go out and move his car and come back in or anything like that?
I never did, no.
After you, it's fair to say that once you noted that the SUV, Ms. Reed's SUV, was in front of the location, you started paying some attention to it.
I went to the door a few times to look out, yes.
As a matter of fact, in the course of about 19 minutes, you went to the door no fewer than 5 times, correct?
I'm not sure if it was 5.
You've indicated in previously that for every time you went to the door and saw the SUV, you texted something, which are the texts contained in the document that was just stipulated to. Is that right?
I did text 5 times. You are correct.
Okay. So it's fair to say if you texted 5 times, then you went to the door 5 times, if those were associated with one another. You walked up, looked at the door.
Yeah, she was sitting next to him in the front row.
Here, pull behind me. Where are you? Those texts, correct?
I remember going
Here's the thing about this. If she saw Karen's car out there, right? And then she said, hey, pull behind me, that makes sense. But it sounds like they're trying to say that he was dead at that moment. But if she was out there at that moment, the 5th text, or even the 4th or 3rd, really, that she would have seen the vehicle was still there. So it couldn't have hit John.
the front door,
Makes no
seeing the
sense.
car and texting here. When I went to the door the second time, the car had moved up towards the flagpole, and I texted, pull behind me, because I thought, did they not know where to park? Did they think they were at the wrong house?
So my question is this: every time you went to the door, you texted something.
I'm not sure that I did. Yes.
Do you remember?
I'm not sure that I did. Sorry.
Do you remember a year ago testifying that every single time you texted, you indicated that you looked out?
No, I know, but I'm thinking about it through her theory. Like, this is what she's saying happened, right? So why would you look out? So if the theory is Karen hit him and then takes off, like her wheels are spinning, she smashes into him, she takes off. Fuck you, bye, John, you fucking perv. If that's what happened, how is the car parked there for so long? Why is she staring out there saying, oh, I didn't see nothing. I didn't see no one. John wasn't out there. Like, but she's texting him, pull in behind me, technically him and Karen, right? So the vehicle is still there, right?
At the
And they're saying that he died
SUV
at a very
saw
specific
something that
time.
prompted you to text.
Sorry, he died at a very specific time, which would have overlapped with this. And simultaneously, if she had truly seen that, then she would be technically lying when she said she didn't see John get murdered. So it makes no fucking sense.
Something.
I'm going to go back because I didn't catch that last question. Sorry. And I'll put it on 1.25 here.
Same date, 12:40 and 31 seconds, from Jenn McCabe's phone to John O'Keefe's phone. Hello.
Exactly. So she's poking out and seeing, she's poking her head out, right? She sees it by the flagpole, right? And if John is supposedly dead, but she went and checked the door every time, she would have seen John dead. Or seen him dying, if you will. Like, this makes no fucking sense.
9 seconds. Text message from Jennifer McCabe's phone to John O'Keefe's phone. Where are the letter U?
Okay, thank you.
Finally, 12:45 and 53 seconds, from Jenn McCabe's phone to John O'Keefe's phone. Hello. I would offer the stipulation that those are correct times and dates and contents of the text messages between John O'Keefe's phone and Jennifer McCabe's phone on January 29, 2022.
All right, and that's what you're agreeing to, Mr. Brennan?
Mary, don't apologize.
Okay. All right, folks. So I told you yesterday about a stipulation when I talked.
Okay, now's a good time to pause. Also, never feel bad for not watching the stream. There's so many other streams with people who are like fucking lawyers and fucking related to these people and fucking from that town and fucking doctors and judges and fucking wild animal trainers and a fucking clown. There's an actual clown. There's a guy who plays guitar. There's all these people who fucking stream this shit. Fucking support whoever. You like, I'm just doing this because, let me put it this way, I like to interact with chat, right? According to Holly's book, I'm a Leo, and this is what I do. I like to host. I like to be a little host. I like to be like, do you have? And this is very true, because at Thanksgiving I like to make the food, and I like to pick out the big trays. I like to do all of this shit, right? So I'm one of those, oh, like, just have it at our house if we have space. Let's just, you know what? We'll do our own thing. I'm one of those people. Oh, everybody's going to the fucking football game and they're wearing those outfits. Let's dress like the goth kids and do a little fucking weird dance. It's fun. But like, when I'm going in these chats, right, and there's all these rules, and I'm not shitting on them, it's just some of them, they're like, you can't say these words, you can't talk about this, nobody's gonna, like, I see some crazy shit popping off in chat. I'm like, what's going on over here? And they're like, no, don't look at the fight, focus on the trial. And I'm like, but this person says that Jen has a tail. Like, this is important, does she? Like, I like being distracted. I like fucking around. I like slowing down, speeding up, having a laugh, getting to talk to you guys. But like, when shit's going too fucking fast and everyone's yelling and people are mad, and it's too much. It's like, yo, we could have a virtual fucking big ass fucking living room where we can all sit around and be like, yo, this bitch got rosacea. Like, then fucking let's do it. Fuck it. If one of you guys is like, yo, I would fuck Arcadaddy, it's like, I'm not going to tell you not to, but like, I don't like being in chats where they're like, don't objectify him. It's like, bitch, of course I'm going to objectify him. Have you seen those cheekbones? Did you see those dimples? Can I see those dimples? Can I see how far my thumb goes into them? I have questions.
Similar. So
that's what we'll do.
Both lawyers agree that that's information contained
in MWR, Marcus waiting room. I really like that. I really like that. What if Marcus finds us one day? We want him to be proud that we're lurking. Look, even fucking Satan's here, you guys. Jesus Christ, this is great.
Celebrate report.
And this element.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Shut
May I
up.
continue?
Yes.
At some point,
Her
you
bangs
indicated
piss me off.
that, and by the way, Ms. McCabe, at 12:27, it's now been stipulated to, you texted a single word, here.
Zane, what you got for lunch? Hey, Devil Daddy, what you got for lunch in there? Double D's. What you got? What you eating? You got a ham sandwich? What you got? Does the ham look like Jan?
Exclamation point, question mark, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You indicate that you saw the SUV move up after it was in front of the 34 Fairview residence. It moved up some number of feet, correct?
The next time I looked, it was at a different location.
Right. Now, you did not see the white Jeep move from the place that you originally saw it in front of the mailbox, correct?
I never looked out at the white Jeep.
But you never saw that move ever?
No.
As a matter of fact, Mr. Higgins, that Jeep was in the same spot while Mr. Higgins was inside the residence until he left, correct?
That's what I would assume, yes.
Okay. And you never saw him go out and move his car and come back in or anything like that?
I never did, no.
After you, it's fair to say that once you noted that the SUV, Ms. Reed's SUV, was in front of the location, you started paying some attention to it.
I went to the door a few times to look out, yes.
As a matter of fact, in the course of about 19 minutes, you went to the door no fewer than 5 times, correct?
I'm not sure if it was 5.
You've indicated in previously that for every time you went to the door and saw the SUV, you texted something, which are the texts contained in the document that was just stipulated to. Is that right?
I did text 5 times. You are correct.
Okay. So it's fair to say if you texted 5 times, then you went to the door 5 times, if those were associated with one another. You walked up, look at the door, see the SUV, and text something. Here, pull behind me, where are you? Those texts, correct?
I remember going to the front door, seeing the car, and texting here. When I went to the door the second time, the car had moved up towards the flagpole, and I texted, pull behind me, because I thought, did they not know where to park? Did they think they were at the wrong house?
So my question is this. Every time you went to the door, you texted something.
I'm not sure that I did, yes.
Do you remember
I'm not sure that I did,
Do
sorry.
you remember a year ago testifying that every single time you texted, you indicated that you looked out at the SUV and saw something that prompted you to text something?
Am I aware that I said that?
Correct. That you
Could you-
testified to that.
Could you show that to me, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
May I, Your Honor?
Yes.
Take a look at the highlighted
Sure.
portion and just read that to yourself. Let me know when you're finished.
Okay.
May I?
Yes.
Ms. McCabe, does that refresh your recollection about the issue we were just talking about?
I see what's written down, yes.
Okay. Did you testify in answer to the following question? And as a matter of fact, you looked every single time that you texted, you indicated that you looked out at the SUV and saw something that prompted you to text something, correct? Answer, correct.
I answered correct to that,
Okay.
yes.
So if you looked out, I'm sorry, if you texted 5 times, that's all I'm getting to, you went to the door about 5 times.
I'm not sure. I remember definitely going twice. And again, if I misstated or I said I went 5 times, 4 times, I apologize.
Well, do you think this testimony is an error?
No, I don't. And I'm thinking with my memory, it was 3 years ago, and I'm thinking that maybe I wasn't clear on that detail of how many times that I went to the door.
And
What I
certainly,
can tell you I'm clear on is that I did go twice, and I saw it. I saw it straight ahead. I saw it at the flagpole, and the third time further up. I cannot say with certainty.
First of all, I saw it. She said it 3 times, so go ahead and hit 3 bongs. Okay. Also, she said Nazi weird. She said not say, and that was pretty weird.
With my memory today, that I was up at that door every single time. I'm sorry.
and by the way, when you testified, as you just saw,
Mhm.
that was a year ago, correct?
Yes.
A year earlier and a year closer to the event, correct?
Yes, it
So
was.
your memory would have been a little bit fresher then than it is now, a year later.
I don't think I can compare my memory then to now.
You can't compare your memory. Do you think your memory gets better with time or fades a
Some,
little with time?
well, some things, unfortunately, I think about every single day with this case, the trauma of it
Sure.
and what I experienced and went through.
The
And
trauma?
there are some things that I am certain I will never forget. And I know for sure where the car was, and I know for sure I sent those 2 texts, but I apologize if I misstated. I went out more than I did. I'm just trying to give you what I remember today.
Let's talk about those texts and and you looking out the door. You did approach the door and you saw that the vehicle was there the initial time, correct? That's 1.
When I texted here, yes.
And you texted here, exclamation point, question mark. Is that right?
Correct.
And you indicated that when you first saw the vehicle, it was straight out ahead of you in front of the front door, and it was stationary. Is that right?
Yes.
Then you said you went back to the door and you saw that it had moved up, quote, a little bit. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Toward the flagpole. Is that right?
Oh, it's our homie lamplighter. So this is rampant speculation that I will allow. I will allow that Mia posted in Discord. Let me show this and then we will continue. Okay. Guesses on what the big closed door meeting of the judge, all the attorneys, and the O'Keefe family just now is all about? My speculation is that it has to do with whatever the Zoom meeting Jennifer McCabe had last night with judge and both sides attorneys. Anyone else care to speculate? Hashtag Cowan Weed. Okay, Real Crime Sisters, spelled REEL. Is this a video wordplay or is she into fishing? If she is into fishing, will she come on the channel? I'm hearing it's the O'Keefe family smirking and talking about Karen when she goes to sidebar. Makes sense now that Paul has moved. Is or are Real Crime Sisters, which is weird because there's only one. And now I hate her. I don't trust her. It says sisters. There is one person here. What's going on here? Dagnammit, don't trust her. Hers. Thems. They? There's only one. What is happening? Anyway, that's the update, I guess. I am not the news.
And when you saw that it had moved up toward the flagpole, then you texted again at 12:40, which has been stipulated to hello. Is that right?
When I saw it move up to the flagpole, I believe I texted pull behind me.
When you went.
Yes. There was a secret crime meeting. Okay. Amazon crime even. There was a crime meeting. Yes, she is very dirty. And Tiff, she is sorry. And Satan says, Jesus? You wish. I'm getting wisdom teeth out in a few weeks. Well, I recommend frozen mango.
With the second time. And
like a little bitses. I will continue.
By the way, it was my mistake. I got I jumped over one. It was 12:31:47, which we stipulated to pull behind me. That's when the SUV was up closer to the flagpole, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Then you went yet again at 12:40 and saw the SUV yet again and texted hello. It was the second hello.
I'm not sure if that was when I texted hello.
But you did see that the SUV had moved again.
Yes.
Now where was it?
At first, it was straight ahead. Then it was at the flagpole, and then it was further up.
Then at 12:42, 2 minutes later, you texted, where are you, correct?
Yes.
Okay. At that point, it was still up by the flagpole?
No, I'm not saying that it was still outside.
Where was it?
I'm not sure where the vehicle was.
At 12:45, you texted yet again, hello. Is that right?
Yes, I did.
You indicated that you texted hello the last time you saw the vehicle. Is that right?
I'm not saying that today, no.
Well, did you say it previously?
In my testimony, did I say that the last time I texted? Do you have that written that I could see?
You just read it.
Well, that was your question that you had read to me. I never came out and said that.
Ms. McCabe, I asked you if you testified to that a year ago. That's not a question. Did you testify to that a year ago that when you went every single time you went to the door, you texted something because seeing the vehicle prompted you to text something to Joe?
That's a summary of maybe the.
Did you testify to that a year ago?
To what? That when I went to the door? Yeah, different times when I went to the door, I did text, yes.
Right. And then you testified as well that you went to the door a final time and saw that the SUV was gone. It had left, correct?
Yes, at one point I did.
And that was just a couple of minutes after your last text at 12:45. Is that right?
I'm not sure of the time.
Matter of fact, you've testified previously that it was around 12:50 that you last went to the door and noted that the car was completely gone. Is that right?
I'm not sure of that.
You're not sure of that?
No, if you could show me, I'd appreciate it.
At some point, did you note that the vehicle was gone? Let's get to that.
Yes.
Around what time was that?
I do not know.
12:45, a little before, a little after?
I'm not sure. I can't give a time.
Would it refresh your recollection to look at how you testified to that particular time last year?
Sure.
May I?
Yes.
Thank you. The highlighted portion.
Thank
Ms.
you.
McCabe? May I?
Yes.
Ms. McCabe, does that refresh your recollection as to what time last year you indicated that you went to the door and saw that the SUV was gone?
It says on the paper that I was asked if after 12:45 it was gone, and I answered correct.
Okay.
I never gave it time.
All right. And that coincides with the last hello that you texted to John's phone, correct?
Again, I don't have that paper in front of me. Is that the
Well, that's
time?
the stipulation. That's what you don't need to worry about.
Okay.
That's been stipulated to your last hello text was at 12:45.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So that coincides, that testimony from last year coincides with your last text message saying hello. You noted that the SUV at that point had gone. Had left, correct?
Correct.
So if I hear your testimony correctly, you saw the SUV in position 1.
Yes.
There was a text or something, or 2 maybe. Then you saw it in position 2. You went back to the door and noted that SUV had moved and it was now closer to the flagpole, correct?
We've just asked 2 questions.
It had moved closer to the
The
flagpole.
first question is you said I saw it and I sent a text or 2. I know I just said 1 here.
Okay. Then you saw it a second time,
Correct.
and now it's closer to the flagpole.
Yes, correct.
And there's texting going on. I'm not getting down to the minute of the text, but there's texting going on. You're sending texts.
I'm sending, yes.
Then you went back to the door a third time and saw that it had moved beyond the flagpole, correct?
Correct.
Then, according to your testimony last year, you went back to the door at least a 4th time to see that it was gone, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so at bare minimum, based on your testimony today, you were at the door, looking out the window at that portion of either the yard directly in front of you, and in front of the house, or toward the flagpole, or beyond the flagpole, 4 times, correct?
From last year's testimony, but what I remember today
No,
with
Ms. McCabe, that's not
certainty
my
is
question.
twice.
You need to let her answer the question. Answer your question, please.
Go ahead.
What I remember certainty is looking at it out front, at the flagpole, and beyond. I don't remember how many times I went up to the door. I was back and forth.
Right. But according to you, you saw the car in 3 different positions, correct?
Correct.
So that's at least 3 times to the door, correct?
Correct.
And you saw the car gone, right?
Correct.
3 plus 1 is 4, correct?
Correct.
So now you're telling us that you went to the door a minimum of 4 times and looked across that yard at the SUV, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You had a clear view of that SUV as you looked out that storm door every time you went to the door. Jensen.
It was dark and snowing, but I could see a vehicle out there, yes.
As a matter of fact, you've indicated that it was a clear view. There's nothing obstructing your vision, correct?
No, there was nothing but the weather conditions.
And you indicated that, and by the way, the blizzard had basically just started. There was a dusting on the ground.
It was snowing. It was accumulating.
Right, but it was early in the storm.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Right. And when asked about whether or not you had a view, well, let me ask it a different way. In terms of your view of the SUV and the distance from the storm door to the SUV to that curb line, there was nothing obstructing your view. You had a clear view of that, a good view of the SUV, correct?
When I looked out the window, I could see the SUV in front of me, yes.
At no time during any of
Julie, grounded for being reasonable, authentic, and on top of your shit. How fucking dare you?
this interaction with
Yes, we remember.
the door, meaning going back.
Actually, I didn't remember. That's actually a very great point. And ungrounded. Mary says, haven't been able to follow up on the meeting in court. Last time I checked, Sue O'Connell, NBC, said something about, Sue O'Connell? Sue O'Connell, who never came over when my mother died. I'm so sorry. Said something about moving Peeps on the 2nd floor. Ooh, because it's Easter's. They had leftover Peeps. Give us some. It may be a nothing burger. I will take a nothing burger or any burger at this point. Melissa with 1 Schadenfreude gives us 3 thumbs up. Is that a Marcus thumb? Where are you putting that? Welcome, turd. Jen's story is forever changing, just like her skin tone. The court officers asked Paul to move to the back row. I told you he farted. I told you guys. I said it, and no one believed me. I'm grounded, ungrounded. I win. Technically, you do. Pumpkinhead says with 1 Schadenfreude, hi, turd. Hey, turd. Everybody look at the turd. Look at the turd. She's here. Okay, Let's go.
Back and forth through the storm door, texting, looking outside, seeing the SUV in position 1, seeing the SUV in position 2, seeing the SUV in position 3. At no time did you hear any noise that was unusual, did you?
No, I didn't.
You didn't hear any screaming?
Like a fucking
You
position.
didn't hear any yelling?
No,
No loud voices?
no,
No foul language?
no,
You didn't hear a door slam?
no,
You didn't hear a verbal argument or a fight of any kind?
no,
What?
You didn't hear a revving engine?
no,
You
What?
didn't hear the squealing of tires or the scraping of tires on pavement?
no,
You
What?
didn't hear a collision take place?
What?
Or a crash?
no,
What?
Or screams for help?
What?
no,
Moaning, groaning, as if someone was in distress?
no.
What?
As you looked at the SUV
Oh, this
the
is
first
I'm gonna
time,
put
you
Stone
already
Cold
indicated
there.
that you
That's
had a clear
happening
view
now.
straight out the door, right? It's right in front of the front door as a crow flies, right? It's not at an angle.
Right there.
Alan, enough, hon. I love you. I love you, AJ. I'm way down yonder with the Chattahoochee. As the crow flies, as the tart tingles, as the butterfly farts in May, whatever fucking when the dolphin flies at night, whatever you got in that pocket from the south, you just keep it back there. Quit showing that. Quit showing that to people. You're in court, sir. Calm down.
Okay. You also previously indicated that you saw tire tracks in the roadway.
Yes.
In that very, very light dusting of snow, the accumulation that you
No. Those are the other 2 stories she had, Reggie. Don't forget, it was 5 times. She just agreed to that a little while ago. So we're going from 2 to 3 to 5.
talked about, you saw tire tracks of some sort.
Yes.
So that's down on the ground, beyond the yard, somewhere in the roadway.
In the street, correct.
You had a good view of those tire tracks as well, correct?
Yes.
As a matter of fact, you were able to describe those as sort of almost a wave, I think you once said.
Yeah, across the street. I could see it because of the street light that was across the street.
Okay. And that presented at least enough illumination based on your view. You could see the tire tracks in the snow.
Yes, over to the left, yes.
And you detailed not just the shape of those tire tracks as being sort of like a wave, but where those tire tracks were, correct?
No, yes, yeah.
Where did you see them?
I believe over to the left, if I'm looking out straight. Oh, sorry, straight.
So if you're looking outside at the SUV, I'm just going to turn my back to the jurors for a second. For perspective. If you're looking outside the door, when you say straight out, the SUV is straight outside. When you say to the left, you mean to the left of the SUV on the ground. That's where you saw the tire tracks.
Yes.
Like somebody might parallel park or something.
Kind of a wave, yeah. I can't really explain what it was. I just saw it.
You weren't paying special attention. You weren't looking for tire tracks, were you?
No, when I glanced out, I saw it.
You weren't looking for anything in the roadway at that point. You just glanced out. There was something in your peripheral vision, and you made note of it.
Yes.
And the only thing between you and the SUV as you looked out was the lawn.
Correct.
There's no ditches or hills in that lawn. It's a flat lawn, correct?
I wasn't looking at the ground. I was just kind of looking like I am at you
That's
right
not my
now,
question.
straight.
You know that lawn. You've been in that house 100 times, 500 times. There's no ditches or berms or hills or mountains on that lawn. It's just a flat lawn, right?
Objection, Your Honor. There's a berm.
I guess you could categorize it as flat, yeah.
Can we
I thought there was a berm. What about the berm? That's how I learned the word berm. There was a berm in the last trial. Now there's no fucking berm. If they try to prove to me right now, or if they just casually let it slide by that there's no berm, when I recall a berm, I don't only recall a berm, I thought that the berm should be a character. I even suggested to Auntie at one point, I was like, be a berm. Be a berm. And that berm rhymes with perm. Of course, brilliant idea goes ignored, but listen to me. There was a berm. I'm not crazy. I didn't know what a berm was. I had to look it up. I questioned my family about it. I said, why did you not teach me this? Why did the school system fail me? I almost made a change.org petition to include berm history and the culture of berms in the core curriculum for Texas education. And these motherfuckers are about to just casually, the financier, just pretend that there's no fucking berm right now. Are you out of your dick, ma'am? Go back. I need to hear it again. If they fucking just act like there's no fucking berm, like if she says, no, there's no berm, and he's like, there's no berm, she's like, no, there's no berm, and he's like, correct. I'm going to be so fucking pissed. We might quit the trial. We might quit it. We might quit it. I don't give a fuck what happens to any of them if they try to act like there's no fucking berm there, okay? Because I'm not going to live in that world again. I'm not going to live in that election again. I'm never going back to that dark spot. Do you understand? You want to see Dad be Marcus? You want to see Dad be Marcus? I'll fucking go full Marcus. If they try to fucking dick me down and pretend there's no fucking berm.
I believe over to the left. If I'm looking out straight. Oh, sorry. Straight.
So if you're looking outside at the SUV, I'm just going to turn my back to the jurors for a second. For perspective. If you're looking outside the door, when you say straight out, the SUV is straight outside. When you say to the left, you mean to the left of the SUV on the ground. That's where you saw the tire track.
Yes.
Like somebody might parallel park or something.
Kind of a wave. Yeah. I can't really explain what it was. I just saw it.
You weren't paying special attention. You weren't looking for tire tracks, were you?
No, when I glanced out, I saw it.
You weren't looking for anything in the roadway at that point. You just glanced out. There was something in your peripheral vision, and you made note of it.
Yes.
And the only thing between you and the SUV as you looked out was the lawn.
Correct.
There's no ditches or hills in that lawn. It's a flat lawn, correct?
I wasn't looking at the ground. I was just kind of looking like I am at you
That's
right
not my
now,
question.
straight.
You know that lawn. You've been to that house 100 times, 500 times. There's no ditches or berms or hills or mountains on that lawn. It's just a flat lawn, right?
I guess you could categorize it as flat. Yeah.
Can we take a look? May I approach you?
Yes.
Okay. Can you take a look at that photograph for a quick second? Tell me if you recognize it.
I do. Yes.
What do you recognize that as being?
34 Fairview.
That's the same photograph with just a little modification on it that you saw a few minutes ago.
Yes.
Your Honor, I would ask that we mark this identification.
Okay.
Wish to publish?
Not for identification, no.
I'm happy to look at it as,
Your Honor, if I may, if it's marked for identification, I wouldn't object to showing it.
Okay. All right.
It's a chalk at this point.
Okay.
May I publish?
Yes.
Thank you. May I approach?
Yes.
Thank you.
There you go. Mr. Wong, can you make that? There you go. Thank you. What's depicted in that photograph?
34 Fairview.
Do you see the front door that you went in?
I do. Yes.
Can you point it out for the jurors, please?
Sure. Right there.
Okay. The one with the brick steps leading up to it.
Yes.
Now,
Where's
with
the
this perspective, can
fucking
you point
berm?
out the side door?
Show me the fucking berm. Someone show me the fucking berm. Where's the fucking berm? What is a berm? I still don't even know. I still don't know. The way they explained it, it's just, is it a bump? Is it a fucking natural? Is it nature speed bump? What the fuck?
Sure.
I'm Googling it.
That looks like a screen
I'm
door just
done.
to the right of the
I'm
hedges.
done. I'm just looking it up.
With that perspective, can you point out the garage door?
Or that one. Sorry.
That's just to the right of the window inside that recess of the home?
Yes.
Okay. And does that fairly and accurately depict the lawn as it was on January 28th, 29th?
What the fuck is this? A berm is a flat strip of land, raised bank or terrace bordering a river or canal. I'm going to throw up. What the fuck? There's no river. There's no canal. And also, how is this flat? A flat strip of land? Well, that's a lump you're showing me. Is a berm a breach in the space-time continuum? Is a berm Katie and Gail floating? What the fuck is happening right now in this trial? What the fuck is happening right now? It's a bump? A flat strip of land bump? How is it a raised bank and a flat strip of I'm going to self-harm.
It's different weather.
Right.
The shape of the lawn.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We'll put that down as well.
So what was that marked as, Madam Court Reporter? Thank you.
Your Honor, I would ask to move that in evidence. If we need to take a minute on that, I'm happy to, but that is my request.
Is there an issue?
No, I want to.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, doctor. I think I have a berm in my tit. Can you squeeze it till it hurts and tell me? I'm so angry about this berm thing.
Yeah,
I'm
continue
so
with-
filled
Yes.
with rage right now. You guys have no idea. Like, what the fuck? It's just nothing.
The first time you looked out over that lawn to the SUV,
Is it a fucking
you
divot?
did not see John O'Keefe, did you?
No, I did not.
He was not outside that SUV.
No,
He was not standing or sitting.
not that I saw.
He certainly wasn't on the ground, was he?
Not that I saw.
The second time you looked out and saw the SUV, now the SUV is more toward the flagpole, correct?
Yes.
And you had a clear field of view between you standing at that door and the SUV. You already described that view, correct?
I can see the SUV, correct.
Correct. And you could see everything in front of the SUV as well, couldn't you?
I just would go to the door and look at the SUV. I wasn't taking in all the surroundings of.
Right. But just like you weren't taking in the surroundings specifically looking at the
The toboggan is a fucking hat, Tiffany. I use your full name. I'm so angry right now. Not at you. It's at the berm, sweetie. But it's just a hat. A toboggan is a hat. Are we going to do this again? Are we going to do, is it going to be a whole day of figuring out what fucking words mean? Because I thought I already did this in life.
tire tracks, and you saw the SUV sitting right in front of you. You saw that through your peripheral vision. You noted tire tracks.
Yes, and that's lighted where around the SUV was very dark.
Tish, you're in Massachusetts. You're on drugs. What the fuck is a berm? Can you just tell us once and for all these New England secrets? And why is it new if it's so old? And what is a berm?
I haven't asked you about lighting yet. We'll get to that.
To you, what does a berm mean to you?
I'm
You
sorry.
noted tire tracks, even though you weren't looking for tire tracks, right?
Yes, I
You thought
did.
something stood out to you in your peripheral vision. Just looking out. There they are.
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Wendy grounded. It is a hat.
That second time you looked directly at the SUV with no obstruction between you and the SUV, you did not see John O'Keefe standing outside the SUV.
No.
He wasn't sitting down.
No.
He wasn't lying down.
No.
You certainly did not see his body in the snow toward that flagpole.
No.
And you would have been looking directly toward that flagpole, correct?
No, Darlene, that's a fucking merkin, like what Jen has on her head.
Directly.
I was looking at the vehicle.
Directly toward the flagpole, Miss McCabe.
I was looking in the direction of the flagpole at the vehicle. Yes.
Right. And you saw no body in
I was looking in the direction of the flagpole because I was about to say my Pledge of Allegiance on the lawn over my dead friend's body.
the snow, did you?
I didn't look for a body in the snow.
I didn't ask you if you looked for one. You weren't looking for tire
You know
tracks.
what? Grounded for never getting grounded.
Either, were you?
And then grounded again, double grounded, reverse grounded. So you're ungrounded for wanting to be grounded. Oh, Darlene, that could be a show. And also, they should call Bob 3-2 for comic relief and ask him to explain for you. If I had his number, don't you think we would be calling him daily, Julie? No one has Bob's number. He doesn't. I don't even think he has a phone. I think he has a pager. And yes, Darlene was busy saving lives. Berm is evidently the shoulder of the road. See, Tish gets it. That's fucking nothing, right, Tish? It's nothing. So it's not a divot. It's not a tunnel. It's not a fucking Cavassier or whatever the fuck. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. A flat strip of land, raised bank, or terrace boarding, or river. You know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna let this play. I'm gonna call a Massachusetts 311 of some sort, and we're going to ask them what a berm is. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Stay tuned. We're gonna find out what a berm is when I come back. Okay. Actually, I have to remove it now. I have to remove it now. Okay. I have to remove it now because I have to re-allow it. I have to re-allow it like I'm fucking Beverly. All right. So that we can have sound, the privilege of sound, because StreamYard is so not littered with bugs. Jen looks like Marcus. Here we go.
But you saw those.
I did see those, yes.
And you did not see a body in the snow.
No, I did not.
John O'Keefe, 6'2", 216 pounds, brawny guy, big boy, right?
I don't think I'd refer to him as a big boy, but he was tall, yes.
All right. You certainly didn't see him prostrate in the snow the way you found him the next morning, correct? Later that morning.
I didn't see anything on the ground, no.
Correct. The third time you looked out toward that SUV, it's still in the direction of the flagpole, but a little further up, a little deeper to the right, correct?
Yes.
Again, looking directly in the direction, at least, of the flagpole and that area of the yard, you're looking beyond that to the SUV, correct?
Yes,
You did not see John O'Keefe standing outside the vehicle?
I did not know.
He was not sitting outside the vehicle,
No,
and he certainly wasn't lying on the ground, was he?
I didn't see him.
And the last time you looked out, Miss McCabe, this is now 12:45 or so. The last time you looked out, the SUV was gone. Is that right?
Yes,
But you were still looking in that direction because that's the last place you saw the SUV. Is that right?
I looked out the window like this. I wasn't searching anywhere, but just glanced out the window, and I didn't see it.
I'm just asking you a direction. Not whether or not you were searching. I know you didn't see that search part. That's not my question. My question is, were you looking toward the area where you last saw the SUV around 12:45 a.m.?
Yes,
That would be directly across the lawn, directly past the flagpole, and directly into the street where you last saw the SUV, correct?
I glanced out. Yes, correct.
And the same way you glanced out at the SUV, to use your words, glanced out and saw the tire track.
Ha, joke's on you, Indy. They don't tell us anything in Sea Org. We have to mop. Hello, Nicole. Welcome. Hey, Nicole, what's a fucking berm?
Right?
Correct. Yes.
But you did not see John O'Keefe standing on the lawn.
No.
You did not see him sitting on the lawn.
No.
And you certainly did not see his body lying on the lawn, did you?
No. No, I did not.
Ultimately, you left the location that night, the gathering at 34 Fairview. Is that right? You didn't spend the night there?
No, I went home.
About what time was it that you left the location?
Approximately, it was after 1:30. Thirty-one 45.
So this is maybe an hour later, later than what we've just been discussing.
Yes.
Seeing the SUV. Who did you leave with?
I left with my husband Matt and Julie Nagel and Sarah Levinson.
Who was driving?
Sorry, my husband Matt was driving.
And where was Sarah Levinson and Julie Nagel sitting in that SUV?
They were in the back seat.
By the way, what kind of SUV were you in that night?
A Yukon.
Four-door,
yeah,
extended
big,
seating?
Yes.
When the SUV pulled out of the driveway, it was in the driveway?
Yes.
When the SUV backed out of the driveway, doing a three-point turn, backed out of the driveway, did it go toward Chapman or did it go toward Cedar Crest?
It went towards Chapman.
So as you backed out of the driveway, you would have been heading up toward the flagpole side of the property rather than back toward the driveway side of the property, correct?
Correct.
You would have driven directly adjacent to the area where John O'Keefe's body was later discovered at 6:04, 6:03 a.m., correct?
Yes, correct.
You were seated in the passenger seat of the vehicle, not the driver's seat.
Correct.
You were seated in the front of the vehicle, not the back seat.
Correct.
You would have been closest to the yard as y'all drove past, correct?
Correct.
That's a newer model Yukon. I'm assuming that the headlights automatically turn on at night.
Yes.
So the headlights were illuminated.
Yes.
Did your husband Matt, did he turn on the brights or did he leave the beams on low? Or do you know?
I don't know.
But certainly the area in front of that SUV, that Yukon, was well lit.
The lights were on, yes.
You did not see anything out of the ordinary as you drove right by that location, did you?
I was looking in the back seat when we were driving.
Did you see anything out of the ordinary on that lawn as you drove by in that SUV?
No, because I wasn't looking at the lawn.
You certainly did not see John O'Keefe dressed in dark clothing laying prostrate in the lawn.
No, I did not.
You said that you were turned around talking to the
No, I didn't see any prostates on the lawn. I'm afraid not.
other young ladies in the SUV, Julie Nagel and Sarah Levinson. Is that right?
Yes.
Darlene, did you really send me an email with pictures of berms in your area? Thank you, Darlene. I'm going to go look.
You indicated that you were engaged with them about conversation having to do with bread and maybe peanut butter or something.
Yes.
You didn't, as you passed by that location adjacent to where John's body was later discovered, you didn't hear Julie Nagel say anything out of the ordinary about having seen something.
No.
You didn't hear Sarah Levinson say anything out of the ordinary about having seen something.
No.
According to you, you were turned around, directly engaged with both these young ladies as you passed by that area where John's body was later discovered. Is that right?
When we pulled out, I turned around and I was talking to them about the bread and the peanut butter. I'm not sure exactly where we were driving, but it was when we pulled out, yes.
You certainly never heard anybody say anything like, what was that, or anything close to that.
No, I didn't.
I'd like to turn your attention to your arrival back at 34 Fairview just after 6 a.m. the next morning. You indicate that the visibility was relatively poor and that you could not see John O'Keefe on that lawn from your perspective, correct?
The visibility was extremely poor, and no, I could not see him.
You were in the front seat, passenger side?
Yes, I was.
It was Karen Reed who actually saw Mr. O'Keefe, jumped out of the car, and began attending to him immediately, correct?
Karen got out of the car and ran to John O'Keefe.
And you stayed by the car, and Ms. Roberts ran over to assist Ms. Reed in giving first aid to, at least initially, to Mr. O'Keefe. Is that right?
No, that is not. Carrie got out and walked over, and then I got out and walked over.
You indicated that well, let me ask a different question. Yesterday, you testified in pretty significant detail that when you got out of the car, you could not see anything even close to the flagpole, correct?
Visibility was very bad, yes.
Matter of fact, you used the word whiteout conditions. Is that right?
Yes, I did.
Whiteout conditions, you basically can't see your hand in front of your face.
I wouldn't say that extreme, but I used whiteout as there's just snow coming at you.
You were specifically asked by Mr. Brennan, how close did you have to get before you could actually see anything of note where Ms. Reed had gone? Is that right?
Yes.
You testified yesterday that you could see just merely shadowy figures of Ms. Reed and Carrie Roberts, and it wasn't until you got very close over to them that you could see John, in your words.
Correct.
As a matter of fact, you followed that up by saying that that was the first moment, once you got basically on top of them, that was the first moment that you realized that it was John, that there was a body on the ground, correct?
I said as I got close to them, I don't think on top of them.
Fair enough. It's my words, not yours. You did say, quote, very close to them, correct?
I'd have to see it, but
well, you just testified to it yesterday. You remember saying I had to get very close to them?
I know I said I had got very close to them or close to them, something like that.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't have a transcript of yesterday's testimony. I'm sorry. Last year, you testified to something very different than that, though, didn't you?
And this is a part where I have to pause and ask a question. He said, I don't have a transcript of yesterday's testimony. I'm sorry. And when the jury wanted to see transcripts, they said, I'm sorry, we don't do that. So why the fuck is there a court reporter at this point? Like, what is her purpose? Oh, for the record? Why? Why have a record? We're going to play a guessing game when we have a perfectly good record right here. We're going to use a fucking digital fucking slam pocket. What is that shit called? A flesh rocket? What is it called? A fleshlight? We're going to make this woman wear a fucking fleshlight all goddamn day, every fucking week, till she gets Kool-Aid mouth. We want her to go home looking like the third person in a human centipede. So that, why? Why put this fucking device on her? Okay. Why give her a CPAP? Why give her a CPAP if we don't give a fuck if she chokes? Like, why? Why are we investing in that? Give the cops body cams. Accept the grants, take the body cams. Because at this point, you're strapping a pap on this bitch to fucking sit there and spit fucking hot fire onto a record that you don't want to fucking let people see. You want to have them solve a fucking riddle. What is this, tax season? We got to fucking play guess it. We got to guess and hope we're right. Federal government, just tell me what I fucking owe and quit dicking me down, son. All right? Why are you taking a record if we're not allowed to read it, show the jury, refer to it in court, or ever consider it, and then you're going to make us fucking jump through hoops of jizz so that we could just get a copy of it so you can redact it? Why record anything? Let the bitch go home. Hashtag let that bitch go home.
No.
Isn't it true that last year you testified that you got out on the passenger side of the vehicle, which is...
God forbid we have a record to consider. Oh, we do? Well, how about this? How about shove it up your fucking ass? Hey, why don't you do your best impression of Richard Allen and eat it, bitch? Swallow it. Because nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. No, we're not going to read it back to you. Just guess. Try to remember. Ask the guy who's a cop who's best friends with everyone, the foreperson. Yeah, ask him. He'll tell you what happened. Why have anyone testify? Why give people a reference? If you're not going to give them the whole truth, even though you're making them testify to the whole truth, nothing but the truth, but you're not going to give them the whole truth. It's up to the judge really what truths you get, okay? And whether or not they're true and whether or not the evidence is allowed. And so once we jump through all that fucking red tape bureaucracy bullshit, okay? Don't even fucking ask me what the record is. Don't ask me to read it back. Don't watch anything. When you go home, don't talk about it. Don't look at it. Don't think about it. You wake up a fresh, clean slate so we can fuck with your head so that you end up with Jenn McCabe eyes. So that you wake up with a fucking shell for a body and Jenn McCabe eyes. What the fuck is going on in Massachusetts? Why are you giving us a run for our money? This ain't no competition for crazy, hun. We can all be nuts. But you guys are taking it a step too far. This is wild shit. What's the fucking point?
Will agree the furthest aside from the lawn as Ms. Roberts was driving from Chapman toward Crestview. Cedar Crest, correct?
Yes.
You testified that you were on the passenger side, and as you got out of the vehicle, you noted that Karen Reed was already at John. Is that right?
As I got out and walked around the back of the vehicle, the shadowy figure of Karen had already gotten onto something.
You further testified.
Okay, my last pause for a while. The shadowy figure. Hun, are you rowdy Roddy? You think Adrian Adonis is coming after you, hun? The shadowy figure? The shadowy figure? Honey, that's your fucking shadow, bitch. That's your own shadow. That was you, Jen. You fucking are dead people.
That as you got out of the vehicle, you noted that she straddled John, lifted up her shirt, and went to lay on him. And Miss Roberts went over and said she was started removing snow from John's face. Correct?
I have the page and line number.
Where are
Sure.
you, Mr. Jackson?
May 17, 2024, RT 114, lines 14 to bottom onto 115, line 4. Is that how you testified last year?
I'm sorry, would you mind just repeating it?
Sure.
Thank you.
You testified in substance that you were on the passenger side of the vehicle, and as you got out, quote, as I got out, end quote, she, Miss Reed, was already at John. You indicated that you saw her straddle him, lift up his shirt, lift up her shirt, and lay on top of him while Miss Roberts went over and removed snow from.
Your Honor, they touched tits. They was playing tiddlywinks. They was doing a grab ass on the lawn. I seen it all. There was no blood in sight, but she was on a period.
His face. That's how you testified last year, correct?
Okay.
Is that how you testified last year?
I'm not sure. I know.
Next question.
Would it refresh your recollection if you look at a copy of your testimony from last year?
I don't think looking at it would refresh my memory. I know I might have used different words, but the bottom line is I got out of the car, went behind the car, went over, and Karen had done that.
Mr. McCabe, I'm asking, do you think it would refresh your, you don't have a good recollection of how you testified last year under oath? Sitting on that witness stand. I'm asking, do you think it would refresh your recollection to see your transcript from last year?
I don't need to see my transcript. I know what I know and I know what I remember. So
That's not my question. I'm not asking what you remember now.
I know what I know. What? I know what I know. Girl, you are spinning, honey.
You were on the passenger side of the vehicle, and as you got out,
I gotta hear this again.
quote,
This
as
is
I got
wild.
out, end quote. She, Miss Reed, was already at John. You indicated that you saw her straddle him, lift up his shirt, lift up her shirt, and lay on top of him while Miss Roberts went over and removed snow from his face. That's how you testified last year, correct?
Okay.
Is that how you testified last year?
I'm not sure. I know.
Next question.
Would it refresh your recollection if you look at a copy of your testimony from last year?
I don't think looking at it would refresh my memory. I know I might have used different words, but the bottom line is I got out of the car, went behind the car, went over, and Karen had done that.
Mr. McCabe, I'm asking, do you think it would refresh your, you don't have a good recollection of how you testified last year under oath? Sitting on that witness stand. I'm asking, do you think it would refresh your recollection to see your transcript from last year?
I don't need to see my transcript. I know what I know and I know what I remember. So
That's not my question. I'm not asking what you remember now. I'm asking how you testified a year ago now.
whether I said it was as we're fighting over silly words, whether I said as I got out of the car, we were there.
Words matter. They matter a lot.
Okay, so remember, Mr. Jackson, no comments. Ms.
These woods are silly, Mr. Jackson. Move on.
Do you remember exactly how it is that you testified last year?
I do not know.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's just Stussy stars and dicks and swastikas. That's what she's looking at right now. She's like, is this what I wrote? Is this what I said? Wow. This sounds like me. It's just racial slurs all over that page. And she's like, yeah, this is shit I would say. I would say this, especially if it was around the holidays. I would do this. Yeah, that's me. I did that. I said that. Yeah, I said that.
Ms. McCabe, does that refresh your recollection as to how you testified in substance last year?
She's like, so you got my manifesto. Checkmate, motherfucker.
I see what it says I said, but it's a little bit different than what you stated.
Okay, then let's walk through that. Did you indicate last year that as you got out of the vehicle, that's when you could see what Miss Reed was doing with John O'Keefe, down to the detail of pulling her shirt up and pulling his shirt up to try to go skin to skin?
I object.
Why don't I see it side by? Why don't you bring it to Mr. Jackson, please?
Skin to skin. For Jenn, any human touch is a win when you're going skin to skin. You can hear court reporter breathe.
Okay.
You can hear her
Answer
breathing. She's like,
Beer.
and she looks right at Hank when she's like, do I have to fucking answer this, daddy?
All right, now you can go ahead.
Thank you. Ms. McCabe, is it true that you had the following colloquy last year on this subject? Answer, I was on the passenger side, so as I got out, she was already at John. Question, so she gets out and essentially makes a beeline over where John was. Answer, correct. Question, and you're getting out of the passenger side, and by the time you come around the car, she's already there. Answer, yes. Question, and when she gets over there, what, if anything, could you see at that point? Answer, she straddles John and lifts up his shirt. And then she lifted up her shirt and went to lay on him. And Miss Roberts went over and she was removing the snow from his face. Is that how you testified last year?
Yes, that's how I answered the questions.
Okay. Clearly, you didn't indicate last year that it was whiteout conditions. You could see nothing of the kind, and you had to get, quote unquote, very close to him before you could see anything, correct?
Objection.
Sustained. It's the first word that's problematic, Mr. Johnson.
Yesterday, you testified that it was whiteout conditions. You had to leave the car, walk all the way over and get, quote unquote, very close to John before you recognized that it was even a body. Is that right?
Yes.
But last year, you testified that you were still at the car when you noted the detail of Karen basically giving life-saving aid to John. You can see that clearly all the way from the car, right?
Objection.
Is that what you said, Ms. McCabe?
No.
Is there a reason, Ms. McCabe, that you might wish to improve your testimony this year than last year, over last year, with regard to the distance that you could see Ms. Reed engaged with Mr. O'Keefe?
No.
Are you trying to suggest or improve your testimony to suggest that you had no idea that there was a body there and nobody reasonably could have even seen a body there as you drove up?
Objection.
Is that what you're trying to say, Ms. Reed?
Ms. McCabe,
McCabe.
Can you repeat the question, please?
not sure. I'll give it a shot.
I'm sorry.
Are you trying to improve your testimony this year over last year to suggest that reasonably nobody could have seen where John was from the car?
I'm not trying to improve my testimony now.
You claimed on direct examination today, as a matter of fact, that Miss Reed looked at you at the scene and said the phrase, "I hit him, I hit him, I hit him." She said it 3 times, very distinctly, according to your testimony, correct?
She did, yes.
That was so impactful that it had the effect of putting you in some sort of shock and horror. Is that right?
I was in shock the whole morning, but that statement definitely was a lot.
And that's an incredibly memorable statement for you to have heard and now recount to us in this trial, correct?
Correct.
Something that you wouldn't easily forget or overlook. Is that right?
Something I wouldn't.
Something you would not easily
Correct.
forget or overlook. Is that right?
Correct, yes.
Matter of fact, some might say it's the centerpiece of your testimony.
Objection.
Sustained.
Ms. McCabe, you testified at a grand jury in April of 2022, did you not?
I did, yes.
Before you testified, you took an oath, very much like the oath that you took before you testified in this case, correct?
Correct.
You swore to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, correct?
Correct.
And that included the whole truth at the state grand jury, correct?
Correct.
That was only weeks, several weeks, but weeks after this incident, right?
Weeks. Did you see her roll her eyes? Sorry, going back. Love that. He incorporated clever double entendres with some fun wordplay. I appreciate that. I appreciate you getting back to your texting without going too far into your dang, sir. I like that. It shows you ain't got no quit. And you will pull that calf over the line, whether you got to hog tie it or not. And I appreciate that from you, hun. Also, this has been like a tennis match. And as someone who was a fat girl who was relatively good at tennis, I find this thrilling to watch. And I cannot help but note that it has gotten very tense between these two. Perhaps one will throw the other over, I don't know, a piece of wood, some sort of plank, and perhaps administer a bit of a pegging, if you will. And no, that's not wordplay. I'm not talking about, it doesn't matter. Look at those eyes. I just want you guys to see this. This, when I say he cut his eyes at me, they cutting their eyes at you. This is what I mean. Look at her cut her eyes. You are cutting your eyes at Mr. AJ, hun. Hun, I'd appreciate it if you could bless your heart, have a wonderful day, and good luck to you on your future endeavors, because you need to get out of my way before I put a gun in your mouth, sweetheart. Like, this is you ruined my potluck on Sunday in front of the church look. She is not happy. She is not happy. Someone is getting poisoned tonight, y'all. Okay, don't eat the potato salad. Here we go.
Of putting you in some sort of shock and horror. Is that right?
I was in shock the whole morning, but that statement definitely was a lot.
And that's an incredibly memorable statement for you to have heard and now recount to us in this trial, correct?
Correct.
Something that you wouldn't easily forget or overlook. Is that right?
Something I wouldn't.
Something you would not easily
Correct.
forget or overlook. Is that right?
Correct, yes.
Matter of fact, some might say it's the centerpiece of your testimony.
Objection.
Sustained.
She just did a yes, daddy. Yes, daddy. I'm scared. Yes, daddy.
Ms. McCabe, you testified at a grand jury in April of 2022, did you not?
I did, yes.
Before you testified, you took an oath, very much like the oath that you took before you testified in this case, correct?
Correct.
You swore to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, correct?
Correct.
And that included the whole truth at the state grand jury, correct?
Correct.
That was only weeks, several weeks, but weeks after this incident, right? April 26th versus January 29th, 2022. Is that right?
Correct, yes.
Things were much fresher in your mind then than they are now.
I wouldn't necessarily say that.
Especially something as momentous as an admission from my client that she hit him. Would you agree? Would you agree that that would be fresh in your mind? Something as momentous as that. You wouldn't forget that.
I will never forget it.
You wouldn't overlook that.
I will never forget it.
You would not overlook that either, would you, Ms. McCabe?
I answer the questions I'm asked.
It's my own personal 9/11, Mr. Allen. Seriously, I gotta put a lot of Stone Cold What's in here because you know it's gonna fit perfectly. Did you overlook it? What?
Can you answer the question that I just asked? You did not answer my question. Would you overlook that?
No.
And the reason you wouldn't overlook it is because it was so impactful on you, having heard that. Not once, not twice, 3 times. I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. Is that right?
Yes.
May I approach?
Yes.
Thank you.
Take a look at that document. Tell me if you recognize it.
Yes, I see it.
Is that a transcript of your entire testimony at the grand jury in April of 2022?
I believe so, yes.
You've reviewed it in the past?
I have read it about a year ago, yes.
You read it in anticipation of your testimony a year ago, correct?
Yes, I reviewed it.
Have you reviewed it in preparation for your testimony today?
No,
Or
I haven't.
Yesterday. Ms. McCabe, turn to the page or pages in that transcript where you recount to the grand jurors that my client said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
This is over 227 pages.
Take your time.
How long did you say it was, Ms. McCabe?
227?
I'm not going to let her read 227 pages.
You reviewed it before, haven't you?
I reviewed it a year ago, yes.
You read the whole thing cover to cover, didn't you?
I skimmed through it.
One of the most important points in your testimony yesterday and today is recounting these jurors the phrase, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. Is that right?
Objection.
To the form of that, I'm sustaining it.
Was it important to you to tell these jurors that you heard my client say, I hit him 3 times?
I answered the questions and I'm telling the
Was
jurors
it-
what I know.
Was it important to you before testifying today that you recount to these jurors the phrase, I hit him, coming out of my client's mouth?
Your client said she hit him, yes.
That's not my question. Listen to my question, Mr. McCabe.
I'm sorry.
Was it important to you before you testified to tell these jurors under oath that my client said, I hit him 3 times?
As a witness, it's important to tell the truth and to answer the question you were asked.
And in point of fact, in your entire grand jury testimony, you never said, my client said the words, I hit him, did you?
Again, it's 227 pages.
Ms. McCabe, you were there. They're your words. I'm not asking you to rehearse something. You were there. Did you tell the grand jurors that my client said I hit him?
I have testified a number of times, but I was there the morning of January 29th when your client said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
Did you tell that to the grand jurors?
I'm not sure.
Because you didn't, did you?
Again, I'm not sure.
Ms. McCabe, you were asked in your grand jury testimony no fewer than a dozen times, 12 times, 12 separate times, you were asked to repeat words that my client said both before, going to, and at the scene at 34th Avenue that morning. Correct?
Objection.
Do you know the answer to that?
No.
You were asked multiple times what my client's words were that you heard her say going to and at the scene, correct?
I was correct.
And you recounted those words truthfully and honestly at that time, correct?
Correct.
Because you were under the same oath that you're under today.
Correct.
And things were much fresher in your mind then than they are now 3.5 years later. Would you agree with that?
I hit him, I hit him, I hit him is just as fresh today as it was 3 years ago.
Turn to page 190, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure.
For court and counsel lines 10 and 11.
Which lines? I'm sorry.
10 and 11.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
You recounted what Ms. Reed said to you over the phone to the grand jurors, correct?
Correct.
What she said at 4:53 a.m. was, did I hit him? Could I have hit him? She didn't say it. She asked it, correct?
She didn't say that at 4:53.
Did you testify that what Ms. Reed said to you that morning over the phone was, could I have hit him? Did I hit him?
Yes, I did.
May I approach?
Yes.
Yeah. Just wanted to verify a page number, Your Honor. May I approach?
Yes. Why don't you tell Mr. Brand the page number?
I will, with each one. If you turn to page 192. Line 4. What did you tell the grand jurors my client said in that answer?
Foundation.
What are we talking about?
I'll ask it a different way. Did you answer a question on page 192, line 4, concerning my client's statement?
Did I answer a question?
You were answering a question, correct?
Oh, yes, yes.
All
I'm
right.
sorry.
And the answer that you gave to the grand jurors was, she said, could I have hit him? Correct?
Yes, that's part of the answer I gave.
Turn to page 193.
I'd object.
So I don't want to have to see it, Saga. We need context in order for this to be admissible, Mr. Jackson. I have no idea what that said.
Your Honor, everyone, I can make an offer of proof at sidebar if you
Okay,
wish.
why don't you come to the
Sure.
and bring them.
Well, it seems this camping trip is really tearing us all apart, isn't it? Now we're doing an offer of proof at sidebar and your brother's not even speaking to you. I don't know how much longer I can go. And you kids are over here fighting over things like words, which don't even matter. I just wanted to have a nice Thanksgiving here at the lake, covered in bugs, eating this potato salad that Jenn McCabe made for us. And you all think she's trying to poison you. It's really a tragedy. That's how I imagine if I were like an aunt of one of these people. And I'm just old and I'm just trying to get everyone to get along. It's never going to work. No, Stanley sip. Quench your
On page
thirst.
192, line 4. For context,
Beverly is parched. Let her get some thirsty, delicious Kool-Aid in her gullet so that we can continue with the testimony of the crab.
were you talking about a statement that was made in Karen's car on that morning before you got to the scene?
192.
192, line 4.
Yes, that was a comment you made in the car.
And she said the phrase, you recounted that she said the phrase, could I have hit him? Correct?
Yes, that was part of my answer.
Take a look at page 193, line 1 through 2. This was also in the context of a conversation that was in Karen's car, correct?
Yes.
And the phrase that you attributed to my client was, could I have hit him? The question, correct?
Yes.
Page 193, line 23. In the context of being in John's driveway at One Meadows.
Yes.
And you attributed the statement, and she's asking if she could have hit him, correct?
Yes, when she showed me her taillight.
Page 201, lines 23 and 24. This is driving to Fairview. She asked, what if I hit him? Could I have hit him? Correct?
Can you tell me the lines?
I'm sorry, lines 23 and 24. Page 201.
Okay, sorry. Okay, I've read it.
She stated, according to you, what if I hit him? Could I have hit him? Correct?
Yes, she did.
Page 202, top of the page, line 1 and 2. Again, in context, this is driving to Fairview before you arrived at Fairview. And she again asked, quote, according to you and your testimony in front of the grand jury, could I have hit him? Correct?
Yes, I see that here as part of my answer.
Then turn to page 208, lines 24 and 25.
I'm sorry, what lines 24 and 25?
Lines 24 and 25. Let me know when you've
I've read them. Thank you.
those. For context, this is at the scene outside Fairview.
Yes.
And you told those grand jurors under oath, she asked, did I hit him? Could I have hit him? Correct?
Yes.
On page 208, lines 24 and 20, I'm sorry, 208 and 209, going on to page 209, lines 1 through 3. You actually recounted to the grand jurors a conversation that you said my client had with a female EMT standing right there, exactly as you testified to today. Female EMT. You see that?
I do, yes.
And what did you say my client's statements were in front of that female EMT?
In this, I say that she said, could I have hit him? Is he dead?
It's actually, did I hit him?
Oh, sorry, I missed that part. I apologize. Did I hit him? Could I have hit him? Is he dead? Is he dead? Is he dead?
And that was at the scene in front of the female EMT, exactly the scene that you're describing. You attributed the three statements to my client to today, right?
There was many different times when we were talking to different EMTs, the female EMT, the men, the police officers.
May I approach?
Yes.
Yeah, just hold your arm.
Sure.
Ms. McCabe, your full statement at page 208, starting at lines 22 through 25, going on to page 209, down to line 4, was, quote, so there are different, police officers getting statements from us. And at one point I'm standing with Miss Reed and she's saying, did I hit him? Could I have hit him? And there was, I believe, an EMT, a female, standing right next to me, listening to her yelling, did I hit him? Could I have hit him? Is he dead? Is he dead? Is he dead? It was pretty nonstop, pretty much nonstop. That was your testimony in front of the grand jurors, correct?
Yes, it was.
And that was April 26th, 2022, correct?
Correct.
Not one time. Not one time, Ms. McCabe, did you utter the phrase, I hit him, as it relates to my client in front of that grand jury on April 26th, 2022. Did you? Not once.
I'd have to read through the 227 pages to see.
As you sit here today, do you remember ever saying to those grand jurors, she said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, in front of a female EMT?
I've spoken to in a few grand juries. What I said specifically at different ones, I don't recall at this moment, but I do know that morning your client said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him 3 times, and there was a female EMT there.
You spoke with Trooper Proctor just the same day, right? January 29th.
Yes.
Trooper Proctor was taking notes
Yes.
about your conversation?
Yes, he was.
You reviewed those notes, as a matter of fact. Simple.
I didn't review his notes. I think I've seen a report at one point or another.
On that very day, January 29th, 2022, when you were asked to recount what happened at the scene, who was doing what and who said what, you never told Trooper Proctor that my client said, I hit him either, did you?
Oh, I told him. Yes, I did.
He just leave that out of his report?
I'm not responsible for his report.
No, you're not. But you have read his report.
So again, no comments, Mr. Jackson.
You have read his report, right?
I have seen it before, yes.
May I approach you?
Yes.
Thank you.
You looked at that report for another particular this morning. You still recognize it?
Yes, I do.
Can you review that report, scan it, and let me know when you're done?
Okay, is there something specific I should be looking for?
I don't think you're going to find it, Ms. McCabe. I
All
hit
right,
him.
so again, jurors disregard the comments. So it's question answer format only.
My question is, do you see the phrase, I hit him, as it's attributable to my client in that report? Objection.
Sustained.
Do you recall telling Trooper Proctor that my client said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him? Objection.
Do you recall that?
Yes, I told him.
He was taking notes at the time.
He was taking notes, correct?
Those notes ended up being memorialized in a formal report.
I'm assuming he,
The report's a whole. I object.
Sustained.
Does that appear to be a report of the January 29th, 11:35 or so a.m. interview that you did with Trooper Proctor?
yes, it does.
You said you reviewed that report in the past,
Yes, in the past.
and you're aware in no place in that report does the phrase, I hit him, show up anywhere, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
Can I approach?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to approach the witness. Sorry. I'm being vague. I was just grabbing the report back. Sorry. May I have just a moment, Your Honor?
Sure.
I want to draw your attention to the very early morning hours of January 29th, around 4:53 a.m. when you indicated you received that phone call from Kaylee's phone. Do you have that time and date in mind?
Yes, I do.
My client told you that John had not come home, correct?
Yes,
And you knew that Miss Reed at that point was awake and looking for John.
I didn't know what, I just knew that she was awake and screaming.
Right, because she was worried about where John was. Objection.
Sustained.
You've been asked who you communicated with first thing that morning after you received that first call from Miss Reed. Is that right?
Yes,
You were asked by Trooper Prince in her formal interview. Trooper Prince interviewed you on February 1st, about 3 days after the incident, correct?
I met with a lot. I don't really remember specific
Do
days.
you remember a female trooper?
Yes, I do, actually.
Okay. In your house?
Yes,
Or I should say at your house?
yes.
That was around 3 days after the incident?
Was it Tuesday, maybe? Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't
Oh,
there.
I think so, yes, if
Okay.
it's the one I'm thinking.
You were also asked at the same grand jury who you communicated with on the morning of January 29th.
Okay.
Remember that?
Not specifically.
Would it refresh your recollection if we were to take a look at that, a specific page of that grand jury transcript?
Sure.
Do you need a couple of minutes, Mr. Jackson?
I do, Your Honor.
So jurors, why don't you stand up and stretch, okay? You can too, Mr. Jackson.
Thanks.
All right, whenever you're ready, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. McCabe, I want to draw your attention back to the morning, later in the morning, after you're back at 34 Fairview, after the police have already cleared the scene, and you're back with your friends and family inside the home at 34 Fairview. We've already talked about the fact that the witnesses were not sequestered in any way. They were not separated in any way by the police. Is that right?
We were just sitting together with friends
Right.
and family. So yeah, no.
Everybody was free. All the friends and family that were in there were free to talk amongst themselves, which you did do, correct?
Yes.
All right. Everybody had the opportunity to say their piece and to listen to others say their piece as well.
We had conversations. It wasn't really nothing more than that.
At some point, you did, I think you mentioned this on direct examination, you did reach out to Mike Lank. Is that right?
Yes.
Remind us who Mike Lank is in your world, in addition to being a Canton police officer, police sergeant, I think he was at the time. Who is he in your world?
He was just a local guy that I, knew, was friendly with.
And had gone to high school with?
No.
Was he ahead of you in high school?
We weren't in high school at the same time.
Got it. He was about 5 years ahead of you, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. But you'd known him or known of him from basically childhood or young adulthood.
Yeah, just knew him from around town.
At some point, you decided that you were going to call Sergeant Lank back to the scene because there was a piece of information that you wanted to provide him again. Provide him so he needed to come back again.
Yes.
Ultimately, you called him on his cell phone, right?
I did, yes.
So you were close enough that you had his cell phone number. He had your cell phone number.
No, I didn't have his cell phone number.
Where'd you get that number?
I asked Julie Albert for that number.
So Julie had his cell phone number.
Yes, she did.
And Julie is Chris's wife?
Yes.
She was at the location?
Yes.
When I say the location, 34 Fairview that morning?
Yes.
As was Chris.
He came at some point. I don't know if he was there when I called Officer Lank or not.
As was Brian Higgins, correct?
Yes, he was.
He came back over to the location as well.
Yes, he did.
As a matter of fact, it was Brian Higgins who suggested that you reach out to Officer Lank.
I'm not sure if it was him who suggested it.
Someone suggested to you that you reach out to Officer Lank. Is that right?
As I was sitting there remembering things, I believe, I can't say who did or didn't.
So as you were sitting there remembering things, you weren't just remembering things, you were remembering things and then telling others things that you remembered.
Oh, absolutely.
So
yes.
Others were absorbing whatever information you were providing to them and vice versa.
No one was really providing me any information because they didn't know what happened.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was just sitting there trying to recount what had transpired since I got that 4:53 phone call.
And one of the things that you decided you wanted to tell Sergeant Lank was a statement by my client.
Yes.
So you call Sergeant Lank on his cell phone, and you're able to get a hold of him, correct?
Yes.
Whatever he's doing, I'm guessing he was busy at the time.
I don't know what he was doing.
He was the first responder on a death of a police officer case that was just hours old. So he had to be busy.
I would assume. I, again, don't know what he was doing.
But in fact, after you got your phone call, you dropped everything and headed back to 34 Fairview, correct?
Yes.
Did he come back to 34 Fairview quickly?
He was there fairly quickly, yes, I would say.
And your request?
Yes, I called him and asked him to come back.
Because you told him that you had information that was important enough that he needed to get over there so you could tell him in person what this new information was.
I called him and told him that I was remembering things and asked if he could come back.
And he didn't just say, "Yeah, just tell me what it is over the phone." He literally said, "Okay, I'm going to get in my car, drive in a blizzard." It was still a blizzard, right?
Yes, it was.
I'm going to get all my gear on, drive in a blizzard back over to 34 Fairview, get out of my cruiser, come into the house, and get ready for this new information that you're going to give me, correct?
He did not say all that, no.
No, that's what he did.
I have no idea what he did. I called him and then he came.
Well, he didn't walk over. I mean, he came over in his car, right?
I would assume so, yes.
Right. So he had to get his car, drive over to Blizzard, get out of the car, walk through the Blizzard, go in the front door, and get ready for this new meeting that he's going to have, correct?
Yes, that seems like steps one would take.
And whatever it was that you wanted to tell him, you let him know it was important enough to have a special additional meeting. It wasn't something that you were just going to sit on. You wanted to give him this information immediately without hesitation, correct?
He said if I remembered anything to give him a call, so I did.
So when he came back over, he obviously had a notepad and a pen in his hand, correct?
I believe he was taking notes.
And you told him, you testified this morning that what you told him was Karen Reed said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, right?
Correct.
But when he wrote this report, you said, she said, I hope I didn't hit him. Correct?
I don't have his report in front of me.
Yeah, just one minute.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You could turn to the orange tab. Do you see that?
I do, yes.
Okay, and you've had a chance to read it?
Just the highlighted
Okay.
part.
May I approach?
Yes.
In fact, what you told Officer Lank was something to the effect of, I hope I didn't hit him. Correct?
Incorrect. I told him that she said I hit him.
He wrote in his report, that you just read, something to the effect of,
Sustained.
I hope I didn't hit him.
Sustained.
Is this another example of an officer getting a report wrong?
Objection.
Is that report right?
Your Honor. Objection.
Sustained. Move on, Mr. Jackson.
I hope I didn't hit him, or something to the effect of, I hope I didn't hit him. Sounds an awful lot like, could I hit him? Did I hit him? Do you agree with that?
It does sound similar, yeah.
You testified yesterday that during that first phone call, that first phone conversation with Ms. Reed at 4:53 a.m., she told you, according to your testimony, that in that phone call, in that very first phone call, Ms. Reed said she had gotten into a fight, her taillight was cracked, and she asked, could I have hit him or did I hit him? Correct?
Incorrect.
Tell me where I'm wrong.
In the first phone call, she had said we got into a fight and he didn't come home and I left him at the waterfall. In the second phone call, once I told her that I saw her outside of my sister's house on Fairview, that is when she said, could she have hit him, and talked about her taillight.
So 2 hours after Ms. Reed found John O'Keefe and began giving him CPR, you were interviewed by Sergeant Sean Good, correct?
Objection.
Ask the question differently, Mr. Jackson.
2 hours after Ms. Reed found Mr. O'Keefe, about 2 hours later, say 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning, after the scene was cleared, you were interviewed by Sean Good, were you not?
Objection.
Sustained.
May we approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
An argument or a fight to Sean Good?
Objection.
May I?
Yes.
Thank you. While you were at the scene, after Ms. Reed had been giving CPR, Sean Good interviewed you, correct?
I don't remember a formal interview with Sean Good.
Do you remember talking to him?
When he arrived at the scene, I do remember briefly talking to him after all three of us gave John CPR.
And he asked you certain questions.
Hold
about
up.
what you'd seen.
Hey, this bitch is lying and she's telling all kinds of bullshit. What did that bitch just say? Sorry, I'm trying to remain casually cool and calm. Like, this is just one of my mom friends, you know, she just happens to be testifying. What was that she did? That's right, Pumpkinhead. Hey, maybe you're not a pumpkinhead after all. Maybe you got a crane brain in that thing. 3 of them. Did you hear that, Mary Milwaukee? Mary Milwaukee, I agree. What is wrong with that sentence? Did you guys hear that? Did you fucking hear? All 3 of us. All of us. I put my mouth to his mouth. I saw no blood. Is that what she's telling me? What? I got very close. Oh, I got close. Oh, well, now you gave him fucking CPR? So let me get this straight. Let me climb in here. Let me squirm in here. Let me do my lurks. Listen, how did it go? I'm going to remain calm. Also, I just made a limited time shirt for you guys that I'm a bad person. Anyway, it's available on Fourth Wall, and I'm currently crafting you a lovely little V-neck for it. For all you ladies who don't like to be choked, and for those who do, you have one that will choke you. And it is a tribute. It's a tribute for this moment right here. 3 different stories. Now, I got very close. I could smell their assholes. I got so close, I could smell the Charlie White on that whore. Like, I was so close. I was so close. I was in their face. I was breathing on them. They could smell everything. They could smell what I did yesterday to Mac. So she was very close, right? Then she was close. I wasn't that close. I was close, but I wasn't that fucking close. I don't know. I couldn't see anything. It was the snow. It was hitting me in the face. The snow. It was radiating all around me. I was basically Koberger at night. I had visual snow. I had audio snow. I had every kind of snow. All the snow was coming at me. I couldn't see shit. Prove it. Get a warrant. Okay, so I wasn't close. I was very close. And now I was giving the motherfucker CPR. I was the one with my tits on him. Like, what? What? Please explain to me how you were helping. Is she talking about the 911 call? Because that's a bit, Jen, you're stretching the context, hon. You're stretching the context, honey. Let's hear that one more time. Because I can't really believe it. I can't really believe what we're hearing here. I want to hear that one more time. Yeah, there's the merch store. Give it 5 minutes and you're going to have all of them up. Yeah, that's right. It's Jamarcus, baby. It's Jamarcus. I'll show you guys in a minute. Let's get through this.
While you were at the scene, after Miss Reed had been giving CPR, Sean Good interviewed you, correct?
I don't remember a formal interview with Sean Good.
Do you remember talking to him?
When he arrived at the scene, I do remember briefly talking to him after all 3 of us gave John CPR.
And he asked you certain questions.
I want to shake Alan right now. I want to go, Alan, did you hear that? Did you hear what that whore just said? She just said all 3 of us gave him CPR. Did you hear that, Alan? Alan, she saw no blood, yet she gave him CPR. Alan. AJ, wake up. Wake up, AJ. AJ, look at me. Look at me, AJ. Look at me. He thought about it. He didn't go there. He said, that sounded funny. Did this bitch lie again? But there's so many lies. He has to put them in a pile. He has to pick them apart one at a time. You know, Yannetti is sitting there just fucking flinching in the trousers. He's like, uh-oh, I felt something down there. Uh-oh, I feel alive again. Someone, I hope Miss Little just gives him a little tug on that jacket he's got there and says, hey, come over here, buddy. Did you hear what this bitch just said to you?
about
Let's hear it again.
what you'd seen, what you'd heard, what had happened, correct?
I have to tell you that I remember seeing him there and I remember talking to him, but I do not remember specifics of any conversation or any questions that he asked me.
Do you remember him telling you, I'm sorry, do you remember him asking you about any initial calls you had and you telling him about that 453 call?
Stop. Even Aaron saw it. Did you see that? Watch this. Look at her. I went too far back. Aaron had her hand on her head. She was like, what the hell did I just hear? I'm going to hear it again. Fuck it. Yeah.
I hope I didn't hit him, or something to the effect of, I hope I didn't hit him. Sounds an awful lot like, could I hit him? Did I hit him?
He said it sounds an awful lot like, could I have hit him? Could I have hit him? Could I have hit him? That's what Alan's saying right now because it's hard to hear him. I'll repeat it to you.
It does sound similar, yeah.
You testified yesterday that during that first phone call, that first phone conversation with Ms. Reed at 4:53 a.m., she told you, according to your testimony, that in that phone call, in that very first phone call, Ms. Reed said she had gotten into a fight, her taillight was cracked, and she asked, could I have hit him or did I hit him? Correct?
Incorrect.
Tell me where I'm wrong.
In the first phone call, she had said we got into a fight and he didn't come home and I left him at the waterfall. In the second phone call, once I told her that I saw her outside of my sister's house on Fairview, that is when she said, could she have hit him, and talked about her taillight.
So 2 hours after Ms. Reed found John O'Keefe and began giving him CPR, you were interviewed by Sergeant Sean Good.
Goddamn right, darling. That's because you were busy fucking saving lives, not throwing them back under the bus or the ambulance or whatnot. What have
Correct.
you? Objection. StreamYard, you fucking with me. Ooh, that's a good fucking screenshot right there. I'll take that real quick.
Ask the question differently, Mr. Jackson.
2 hours after Ms. Reed found Mr. O'Keefe, about 2 hours later, say 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning, after the scene was cleared, you were interviewed by Sean Good, were you not?
Objection.
Sustained.
May we approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
And we're approaching again. I officially now have 4 computers in front of me. I got work on one. I got this Jamarcus shirt on another, and then I got the trial on 2.
And I remember talking to him.
You know, all of this shit would not be an issue if they just used Clippy. If we could bring back Clippy from Microsoft Word. If Clippy could just pop in once in a while and be like, actually, bitch, you didn't give him CPR. Yeah, she was screaming so much I couldn't understand her. I hung up on her. And then me and Karen sat down and we made a timeline and I told her everything that happened and she goes by that now.
Yes. Thank you. While you were at the scene, after Miss Reed had been giving CPR, Sean Good interviewed you, correct?
I don't remember a formal interview with Sean Good.
Do you remember talking to him?
When he arrived at the scene, I do remember briefly talking to him after all 3 of us gave John CPR.
And he asked you certain questions about what you'd seen, what you'd heard, what had happened, correct?
I have to tell you that I remember seeing him there and I remember talking to him, but I do not remember specifics of any conversation or any questions that he asked me.
Do you remember him?
You know what the great part of it is? One of them, legit, I can pull it up and show it to you. Hold on. It's in the back over here. I had this one earlier and I just swapped it out, but this one is from 2012. And I just swapped out batteries and I'm testing the other one because I'm trying to get a Hugin cam for you guys. Shh. We're going to rip off Gray Hughes. It's going to be fun. He's going to get so mad. He doesn't know who the fuck we are. He's too busy watching himself. But I also have 2 work computers that, well, it's 2 in 1 technically, that my bosses gave me. And then this one, my other boss paid for a long time ago. So I don't think I ever bought any of these. That one I got for free. Someone just gave it to me. So I'm telling you, dude, I'm computer rich, but it was all by the luck of the draw, dude. All by the luck of the draw. And I'm so excited for you guys to see this shirt. This is ridiculous. I regret nothing.
Telling you, I'm sorry, do you remember him asking you about any initial calls you had and you telling him about that 4:53 call and the early morning calls thereafter?
Wait, why me first? Is it a holiday? Is it a high holiday? Is everyone getting high, hun? It's a claw day? For real, what's going on May 1st? What, do we got some shit I didn't know about?
The initial calls before you met up with Miss Reed.
I don't recall.
Did you tell Sergeant Good, by the way, he was a sergeant at the time. Sean Good was a sergeant, not an officer.
I'm not sure.
Okay. By the way, you knew Sergeant Good, did you not?
Did you see it?
I didn't know him. I knew of
I was waiting for someone to see it. We're going to find out why Sergeant Good is bad right now.
him, like I knew his name, but that was it.
How'd you know of him before that day?
Because his sister is a year or 2 younger than me, and I knew she had a brother that was younger. That was a Canton cop, just through the town, but I didn't know him.
Okay, friendly, but not friends.
I wouldn't even say I was friendly with him.
Okay.
Oh, you wouldn't? Why? Were you a bitch?
You actually told Sergeant Good at the time when he asked about those first phone calls that when Miss Reed called you, she was inquiring about John's whereabouts.
We got
correct?
the Jamarcus T and Puce now. V-neck.
Again, I don't recall my conversations with Sean Good.
You certainly never
Oh, it's
mentioned
so
to
ugly.
Sergeant
Oh, God.
Good the incessant screaming and hysteria that you've described here.
You didn't talk shit to Good?
Did you ever mention anything about an argument or a fight to Sean Good?
Objection.
Sustained, Mr. Jackson. She said she didn't remember. Next question.
I have to go through the series of machinations. I don't know what she remembers and doesn't.
Machinations. Macadamia nuts? Sure, give me one. Also, when I was on my walk with Hugin, it started raining and I ran and this shit was all over. So it was raining men on us. But I have to say that Tully was in a car accident. Uh-oh, it's getting very Whitey Bulger in here. I told you guys Hank was going to change the game. He was going to bring mafia shit. You know that happened during his other trial, right? With Whitey. Someone got in a car accident. Or no, they didn't get in a car accident. They got murdered by a lake, or they may have killed themselves. I don't remember. It was the guy who owned actually, I don't think they announced it, but it was like what it was. They might have, but it took forever. Yeah, we got new merge. Jamarcus available now. You're wearing the Y2K one? Fuck yes. So in the Whitey Bulger trial, the guy who owned the liquor store that he got threatened out of with a gun, they gave the toddler a gun, remember? He was going to testify in the sentencing, I believe, as a for sentencing purposes. Kind of like with my case, they were like, well, we can't, we didn't make it in time to try him for your case because of statute of limitations on specific things. But they did this other fucked up shit, and you can come to the sentencing and speak on it and hope that influences the judge and the jury and makes them go, you know what, fuck them a little harder. Let's give them the max sentence, shit like that. So like this guy was supposed to go, and then they tell him the day before he's supposed to testify against people who ruined his entire fucking life, who I think they even killed his sister or something like that. Might have been his sister. I don't remember. That could have been another one. But anyway, this guy ends up dead in the woods. Like, and then they announce that he's not going to fucking be there. It's crazy. It was absolutely crazy. So now we got Tully getting in car accidents. We've already had Berkowitz die. What the fuck? Like, eventually people are going to start falling off from the alcoholism. I'm sorry to say it, but these people drink too much. It wouldn't shock me if we have at least 4 DUIs before this trial is over. That's fucking wild.
Next question, Mr. Jackson.
Did you mention anything about a cracked taillight to Sergeant Good?
Sustained.
Do you have no memory at all about what you talked to Sergeant Good about?
There were many officers there.
Right.
And like I said, I know I talked to Sergeant Good, but I do not remember the specifics of my conversation during that chaotic scene.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Let me ask a different question. There were many officers there, and many officers were asking you questions, correct?
Correct.
Did you did you tell any officer while at the scene that during those first few phone calls, first couple of phone calls with Miss Reed, that there was incessant screaming and hysteria?
Again, there were many officers asking me questions. Most of them were regarding who John was, if he had medical issues or concerns, things like that.
Right.
It was a chaotic scene. I don't remember any specific questions about phone calls. I apologize.
But you did tell at least one officer about the initial phone call that you received indicating that John may be missing, correct?
I possibly said I got a phone call and that's why I'm here. We all came out to look for him. I apologize for not remembering specifics.
Did you tell any officer at the scene anything about an argument or fighting that Miss Reed said occurred on that first couple of phone calls?
Again, the conversations were very brief and they were with a lot of different officers. There wasn't
yes or no?
in-depth conversations.
Yes or no?
Let her answer the question.
Do you recall? That is a yes or no question. Do you recall telling any officer
Get her, Daddy.
about
Get her.
a conversation in the initial couple of phone calls that you had with Miss Reed about fighting or being in an argument? Do you recall that?
I cannot answer yes or no.
Well, you either do or you don't. If you don't,
I said
just say
there
you
was
don't.
many different conversations. I am not sure.
So you don't recall?
I'm not sure on specific conversations about that. I apologize.
Is there a reason why you're not telling us that you simply don't recall making that statement?
Sustained.
Do you recall telling any officer about a cracked taillight that came up in one of those first 2 phone calls?
At the scene?
At the scene.
Again, I think all the conversations were about what was happening in the present time.
And literally, this was a couple of hours after this incident, correct? When everything was freshest in your mind.
These conversations were at the scene when Miss Reed was running around screaming.
Were you also?
Wait. So now she was running around screaming when you were doing CPR?
Mr. Mulaney.
Again, there were many officers there that I spoke to.
Kick her in
Ms. McCabe,
her ass, Seabass.
answer my question.
No, she doesn't, because she's fucking Casey Anthonying you. She's doing a good old Jodi Arias. All right? She's doing a good old duck and cover. She's swerving, dude. She's swerving. She's going around it.
Did you understand what last question?
I spoke to an officer, Mulaney.
Correct.
Again, I could have. I am not sure. I don't remember every officer. It was a chaotic scene. I had just found my friend on the ground.
So the answer is, I don't remember.
I don't remember speaking to him. No, sorry.
Later that morning, you did have a conversation with Officer Lank that you actually do remember, correct?
Yes, correct.
What you told Officer Lank or Sergeant Lank was that you received a phone call from Kaylee's phone and that Karen Reed was distraught because John never came home, correct?
I told him she was, I don't remember the exact words, but I told him something like she was hysterical and screaming and said John never came home.
You never mentioned that she said anything about a fight during that initial phone call, correct?
Again, I'm not sure what exactly was said during that initial phone call.
You never mentioned that she said something about a cracked taillight in that initial phone call or those 2 phone calls, correct?
Are these phone calls with who? Who are these phone calls? Who am I speaking to
The
at this
initial
point?
phone calls that you had with Miss Reed.
Yes.
You never mentioned to Officer Lank or Sergeant Lank that Miss Reed mentioned anything about a fight or an argument, correct?
I
Did
don't
I
remember.
miss that?
You
Hold
don't
on. Wait, did I miss that? I'm sorry. We're going back again. I was trying to pay attention while I was doing some work shit. Wait, what? Did she say she found him? And then I found him. I found it. Remember when Sarah, the Triceratops, which by the way, Triceratops, was it one of you guys who pointed that out? That fucking blew my noggin. Yeah. Did she say she found him? Because that's hilarious. Wow, Jen. Wow. So that's what, 5th, 6th version? What are we on? Reggie, aren't you counting? How many, Reggie? What are we at? I know Julie probably is. Julie, do you have a list, hon? How many stories do we have now? Did we just abandon it? Did we stop at 5? Whew.
Sustained.
They're coming to get
Do you
you, Jen.
recall telling any officer about a cracked taillight that came up in one of those first 2 phone calls?
At the scene?
At the scene.
Again, I think all the conversations were about what was happening in the present time.
And literally, this was a couple of hours after this incident, correct? When everything was freshest in your mind.
These conversations
Agreed.
were at the scene when Miss Reed was running around screaming.
Were you also interviewed by Officer Mullaney?
I mean, let's be real. Oh, okay, good. We're at Mulaney part. That's my what time is that one at? It doesn't matter. We won't go back again. I'm sorry. Who said that? Who fucking said that? You ungrounded, whoever you are. Yeah, Pumpkinhead. Good point. Oh, look at the kitty. You know, I was kind of concerned at the beginning. Remember, I was like trying to look at it from the juror point of view. Like, you know, if we didn't have all this hate built up in our hearts for her past and prior behaviors and felonious activities, then what would we think of Jenn? You know, I don't think people are nasty, like, by default, necessarily. Not all of them. Not everyone looks at her and goes, fuck your tooth, you know? I mean, look at Kirsten Dunst. Everyone got past that and adored her. She was in fucking Marie Antoinette. She was the little girl from the vampire movie. Lay off her. We're going to pretend she's cute and we're going to put her in Drop Dead Gorgeous and it's going to be the best fucking performance you've ever seen. And it was. So I think people would look at Jenn without knowing any of her backstory and be inclined to go, oh, poor dear, bless her heart, and then hear her out. But now with this behavior, oh, fuck, with all the lies, now she's just the confusing one with the fucked up grill. She's really fucked it for herself, and she looks like she's green screen. That's how much she's emanating hate. She's starting to blur. She's becoming Marcus slowly. Let's watch. Fucking StreamYard, that could have been fucking poignant, but you ruined it.
Again, there were many officers there that I spoke to.
Again?
Ms. McCabe, do you understand my question?
Imagine her looking like she is looking like
If I
this.
spoke to an officer Mullaney, again, I could have. I am not sure. I don't remember every officer. It was a chaotic scene. I had just found my friend on the ground.
I said, I saw my friend on the ground. I said, get out of the fire, John. Roll this way. Why are you on the ground? Are you doing your squirms? Oh, he's doing his squirms. Leave him alone.
I don't remember speaking to him. No, sorry.
Oh, wrong one. Sorry. Hold on. Oops. Another wrong one. My
Later
bad.
that morning.
Hold on. Here we go. Oops. My bad. Who's that? Oops.
You did have a conversation with Officer Lank that you actually do remember, correct?
Yes, correct.
What you told Officer Lank or Sergeant Lank was that you received a phone call from Kaylee's phone and that Karen Reed was distraught because John never came home, correct?
I told him she was, I don't remember the exact words, but I told him something like she was hysterical and screaming and said John never came home.
You never mentioned that she said anything about a fight during that initial phone call, correct?
Again, I'm not sure what exactly was said during that initial phone call.
You never mentioned that she said something about a cracked taillight in that initial phone call or those 2 phone calls, correct?
Are these phone calls with who? Who are these phone calls? Who am I speaking to
The
at this
initial
point?
phone calls that you had with Miss Reed.
Yes.
You never mentioned to Officer Lank or Sergeant Lank that Miss Reed mentioned anything about a fight.
By the way, don't forget my little ginger babies, rabbits, and tombs. Heed. Don't forget, Heeds, that your little sun gods, if you go to a Mayan temple, they'll let you go everywhere.
Or an argument, correct?
I don't remember.
You you never mentioned anything about having Miss Reed saying anything about a cracked taillight in one of those two initial phone calls, correct?
Again, I don't remember all the things that I told Officer Lank.
And you certainly never
All the
mentioned
things I
that Miss
said,
Reed
all the
said
things I said, all
anything
the
about
things I
could
said,
I have
all the
hit
things
him
I said, so many
during
things I said.
either of those initial phone calls, correct?
Again, I don't remember my specific conversation with Officer Lank.
So you don't remember the conversation that you had with Officer Lank when it was the clear light of day. You'd had a chance to take a beat and a breath, catch your breath, because it's now 11 o'clock in the morning. You don't remember anything about that conversation, but according to your testimony, you remember in detail what my client said, waking you out of a dead sleep, correct?
So I didn't speak to him at 11:30. It was earlier in the morning when he came back to Fairview.
Let's call it 9 o'clock, whatever.
Okay.
Right? Whatever. It wasn't the same chaos as my client screaming into the phone that John never came home, waking you out of a dead sleep, correct?
Correct.
But when you recounted that conversation or those conversations to Sergeant Lank, you didn't see a thing about Miss Reed saying that there had been an argument, did you?
I'm saying I don't remember the specifics of my conversation with Officer Lank. I'm also saying that I was woken up out of a dead sleep. Karen showed up at my house screaming. I went out to help her look for John. And then we found one of my closest friends on the front lawn.
Your closest friend, yet you said a guy when you were talking to emergency first responders. One of your closest friends, because his niece went to school with my daughter and I used to fucking drive him around, so that automatically makes him a guy I basically let spooge inside of me. Ma'am, you're not that close, okay? You're not that close to this dude, okay? He's just not that into being your friend. That's why he didn't text you back. That, and he was dead because of something that happened with your friends and family. So what the fuck are we doing here? That we found? Is that what you mean? That we found? Oh, I thought Karen found him and you guys couldn't you couldn't see. You couldn't see anything, Jen. You couldn't see anything. Yet now you have done the CPR and you have found him and you called 911. I tried to give you your flowers, you fucking whore. I tried to give you your flowers. I tried to say, hey, at least she called 911. That's pretty cool. No, you still managed to fuck it all up. God damn it, Jen. I had faith in you. You don't deserve Marcus right now.
What my client
Here's what she
waking
deserves.
you out of a dead
That's what she gets.
sleep, correct?
So I didn't speak to him at 11:30. It was earlier in the morning when he came back to Fairview.
Let's call it 9 o'clock, whatever.
Okay.
3:20 here. Who coughed? Why'd they cough? Because you wanted her to say something different? Who coughed?
It wasn't the same chaos as my client screaming into the phone that John never came home, waking you out of a dead sleep, correct?
Correct.
But when you recounted that conversation or those conversations to Sergeant Lank, you didn't see a thing about Miss Reed saying that there had been an argument.
I didn't see shit, Your Honor.
I'm saying I don't remember the specifics of my conversation with Officer Lank. I'm also saying that I was woken up out of a dead sleep. Karen showed up at my house screaming. I went out to help her look for John. And then we found one of my closest friends on the front lawn. And she was saying crazy things and acting crazy and
Ms.
acting
McCabe, that's not my
erratic.
question.
And so every
Ms. McCabe,
police
that is
officer
not
that
my
I
question.
spoke to,
Let her finish.
every police officer that I spoke to, I tried to answer their questions the best I could. It took me hours and in some cases days to remember all the things that Miss Reed had said. My mind, I was in a state of shock. But the minute I remembered, she said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. I called Officer Lank.
And your memory is getting better even as we sit here today, correct?
There are certain things I will never forget, Mr. Jackson.
Including the fact that you never, ever, ever never said, she said the words "I hit him" to a grand jury when you were asked about it 3 months after the incident. Correct?
She said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
You never told that to the grand jury, did you?
I don't remember specifically that every grand jury and everything I said, but I can tell you with 100% accuracy, she screamed, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
You never said that to the grand jury.
I don't recall if I did.
There to get the truth, correct?
The truth is, she said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
You were asked that specific question at the grand jury. What did she say at the scene in front of the female EMT? And you know what your answer was? You do, because you just read it.
I wasn't asked what she was said at the scene.
What was the answer to that question?
I'm objecting.
The objection sustained. Ask one more clear question, Mr. Jackson.
What was the answer you gave in answer to the question about what was said by Miss Reed to the EMT, the female EMT at the scene? What did you say she said?
I don't know if I was asked specifically what she said to a female EMT.
All right, we're going to end this now.
Your Honor, may I have one more question?
Go ahead.
I can't end it like this. You said
Okay,
she
jurors,
said-
ignore the comments of counsel. Ask one question, Mr. Jackson.
You said that she said, could I have hit him? Did I hit him in the presence of the female EMT? That's what you testified to under oath at the grand jury, isn't it?
Yes, because she also said that.
All right. So, folks, we are done for today.
Okay, that was fun.
Remember, tomorrow is the day that we're not in session. So we will see you Friday. Friday is.
I do apologize. I would like to go back through that, and I am going to put it on fast because I want to hear one more time as he ripped her an entirely new asshole. I'd like to hear that one more time, please, and I will put it on. Wait, no, I don't want it on 144B. What? Shit, I could have had 1080 the whole time. What are you fucking with me right now? You fucking on me? We'll do one. I need to hear this one more time. I need to hear one more time. This silly bitch get backed into a corner. Let me hear it. Yeah, you couldn't hear. Let me turn him up. Let me turn him up as loud as I can. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. I'm gonna turn my shit down. Let's hear that one more time.
Sister is a year or two younger than me, and I knew she had a brother that was younger. That was a Canton cop. Just flew the town, but I didn't know him.
Okay, friendly but not friends.
I wouldn't even say I was friendly with him.
Okay.
I was a bitch to him, Your Honor.
You actually told Sergeant Good at the time when he asked about those first phone calls that when Miss Reed called you, she was inquiring about John's whereabouts, correct?
Again, I don't recall my conversations with Sean Good.
You certainly never mentioned to Sergeant Good the incessant screaming and hysteria that you've described here in court.
Objection.
Did you ever mention anything about an argument or a fight to Sean Good?
Objection.
Sustained, Mr. Jackson. She said she didn't remember. Next question.
I have to go through the series of machinations. I don't know what she remembers and doesn't remember.
Next question, Mr. Jackson.
Did you mention anything about a cracked taillight to Sergeant Good?
Objection.
Sustained.
Do you have no memory at all about what you talked to Sergeant Good about?
There were many officers there.
Right.
And like I said, I know I talked to Sergeant Good, but I do not remember the specifics of my conversation during that chaotic scene.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
Let me ask a different question. There were many officers there, and many officers were asking you questions, correct?
Correct.
Did you ask, did you tell any officer while at the scene that during those first few phone calls, first couple of phone calls with Miss Reed, that there was incessant screaming and hysteria?
Again, there were many officers asking me questions. Most of them were regarding who John was, if he had medical issues or concerns, things like that.
Right.
It was a chaotic scene. I don't remember any specific questions about phone calls. I apologize.
But you did tell at least one officer about the initial phone call that you received indicating that John may be missing, correct?
I possibly said, I got a phone call and that's why I'm here. We all came out to look for him. I apologize for not remembering specifics.
Did you tell any officer at the scene anything about an argument or fighting that Miss Reed said occurred on that first couple of phone calls?
Again, the conversations were very brief and they were with a lot of different officers. There wasn't
yes or no?
in-depth conversations.
Yes or no?
Let her answer the question.
Do you recall? That is a yes or no question. Do you recall telling any officer about a conversation in the initial couple of phone calls that you had with Miss Reed about fighting or being in an argument? Do you recall that?
I cannot answer yes or no.
Well, you either do or you don't. If you don't,
I said
say
there
you
was
don't.
many different conversations. I am not sure.
So you don't recall
I'm not sure on specific conversations about that. I apologize.
Is there a reason why you're not telling us that you simply don't recall making that statement?
Sustained.
Do you recall telling any officer about a cracked taillight that came up in one of those first 2 phone calls?
At the scene?
At the scene.
Again, I think all the conversations were about what was happening in the present time.
And literally, this was a couple of hours after this incident, correct? When everything was freshest in your mind.
These conversations were at the scene when Miss Reed was running around screaming.
Were you also interviewed by Officer Mullaney?
Again, there were many officers there that I spoke to.
Ms. McCabe, do you understand my question? Did you understand the last question I asked you?
If I spoke to an officer, Mullaney?
Correct.
Again, I could have. I am not sure. I don't remember every officer. It was a chaotic scene. I had just found my friend on the ground.
So the answer is, I don't remember. Correct?
I don't remember speaking to him. No, sorry.
Later that morning, you did have a conversation with Officer Lank that you actually do remember, correct?
Yes, correct.
What you told Officer Lank or Sergeant Lank was that you received a phone call from Kaylee's phone and that Karen Reed was distraught because John never came home, correct?
I told him she was, I don't remember the exact words, but I told him something like she was hysterical and screaming and said John never came home.
You never mentioned that she said anything about a fight during that initial phone call, correct?
Again, I'm not sure what exactly was said during that initial phone call.
You never mentioned that she said something about a cracked taillight in that initial phone call or those 2 phone calls, correct?
Are these phone calls with who? Who are these phone calls? Who am I speaking to
The
at this
initial
point?
phone calls that you had with Miss Reed.
Yes.
You never mentioned to Officer Lank or Sergeant Lank that Miss Reed mentioned anything about a fight or an argument, correct?
I don't remember.
You never mentioned anything about having Miss Reed saying anything about a cracked taillight in one of those 2 initial phone calls, correct?
Again, I don't remember all the things that I told Officer Lank.
And you certainly never mentioned that Miss Reed said anything about could I have hit him in either of those initial phone calls, correct?
Again, I don't remember my specific conversation with Officer Lank.
So you don't remember the conversation that you had with Officer Lank when it was the clear light of day. You had a chance to take a beat and a breath, catch your breath, because it's now 11:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. You don't remember anything about that conversation. But according to your testimony, you remember in detail what my client said, waking you out of a dead sleep, correct?
So I didn't speak to him at 11:30. It was earlier in the morning when he came back to Fairview.
Let's call it 9 o'clock, whatever.
Okay.
Right? Whatever. It wasn't the same chaos as my client screaming into the phone that John never came home, waking you out of a dead sleep, correct?
Correct.
But when you recounted that conversation or those conversations to Sergeant Lank, you didn't say a thing about Ms. Reed saying that there had been an argument, did you?
I'm saying I don't remember the specifics of my conversation with Officer Lank. I'm also saying that I was woken up out of a dead sleep. Karen showed up at my house screaming. I went out to help her look for John. And then we found one of my closest friends on the front lawn. And she was saying crazy things and acting crazy and
Ms. McCabe,
acting
that's not my
erratic.
question.
And so every
Ms. McCabe,
police
that is
officer
not
that
my
I
question.
spoke to,
Let her finish.
every police officer that I spoke to, I tried to answer their questions the best I could. It took me hours and in some cases days to remember all the things that Miss Reed had said. My mind, I was in a state of shock. But the minute I remembered, she said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. I called Officer Lank.
And your memory's getting better, even as we sit here today, correct?
There are certain things I will never forget, Mr. Jackson.
Including the fact that you never, ever said, she said the words I hit him to a grand jury when you were asked about it 3 months after this. Correct?
She said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
You never told that to the grand jury, did you?
I don't remember specifically that every grand jury and everything I said, but I can tell you with 100% accuracy, she screamed, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
You never said that to the grand jury.
I don't recall if I
You were
did.
there to get the truth, correct?
The truth is, she said, I hit him,
And
I
in
hit him,
fact,
I hit him.
You were asked that specific question at the grand jury. What did she say at the scene in front of the female EMT? And you know what your answer was? You do, because you just read it.
I wasn't asked what she was said at
What
the
was the
scene.
answer to that question?
No objection.
The objection sustained. Ask one more clear question, Mr. Jackson.
What was the answer you gave in answer to the question about what was said by Miss Reed to the EMT, the female EMT at the scene? What did you say she said?
I don't know if I was asked specifically what she said to a female EMT.
All right, we're going to end this now.
Your Honor, I have one more question.
Go ahead.
God damn.
I can't end it like this. You said-
Okay,
she
jurors,
said-
ignore the comments of counsel. Ask one question, Mr. Jackson.
You said that she said, could I have hit him? Did I hit him in the presence of the female EMT? That's what you testified to under oath at the grand jury, isn't it?
Yes, because she also said that.
All right, so folks, we are done for today. You remember tomorrow is the day that we're not in session. So we will see you Friday. Friday is a full day.
All right,
And
Friday's a
videos
full
on
day. Army had a
Friday,
half
the
day
13th.
today.
Please do not discuss this case with anyone. Don't do any independent research or investigation into the case. If you happen to see
Yeah, God
or
forbid you
read about
learn.
the case, please disregard it and let us know. We'll be very
Disregard.
careful through social media. Have a great night, a good day off tomorrow. We'll see you on Friday.
All right.
Goodbye.
All right, let me adjust. Hold on. Pardon me. Okay. Okay, kitties. Let me pop in here. All right. So what did we see today? We saw a lot of stories get told. We heard a lot of fun stuff. Oh, fuck. God damn it.
Mr. Jackson, I'm not
It's
rushing you
never
in any way. I just want to know how much longer do you
It's not ending.
think you'll be?
I appreciate that, Your Honor. 10 seconds.
Sure, take your time.
No, don't take your time, Alan. Hurry.
I would say an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Okay. Mr. Brennan, do you have
Hour
any idea how much longer you will be?
2 hours.
With Mrs. McCabe,
Yes.
it depends on how the rest goes, but certainly at this point, 20 minutes or less.
All right. So that will hopefully take us to the luncheon recess, maybe, the morning recess or the luncheon recess at most. Do you have witnesses lined up for Friday afternoon?
I do have a number of witnesses ready for the next 3-4 days, and I've
Okay.
given notice to them. And
Darlene, I got your email.
Order,
Jen's
tomorrow
voice
morning.
doesn't
I'll let the
match
court
Marcus's
know.
face.
Great. All right. And nothing you need to see me about right now?
Not for the Commonwealth.
All right.
Here, I'll go back so we can hear what the fuck Hank said, what shit he talked.
See you Friday. Friday is a full day. And
But
give you
yes.
those questions. You can stay in.
Yes, Darlene. I saw Marcus and Jen do. You know what, Funk Hank? We don't Funk Hank. There you go, Kat. Just say that. Just say those words. Fuck that. Okay, they're just talking about how long court is going to take. So that was fun. Mommy's anxiety is up. Mommy needs a ciggy. Okay, so what did we learn today, everybody? Well, we learned that Jenn McCabe is Marcus. We learned that Hank can play pretend pissed, but then he gets huffy. And when he gets huffy, he gets fussy, and then he drops food. He dribbles it on his shirt, and then Bev has to clean it up. She doesn't like that. Everybody's a big fat baby. Everybody's too drunk. Jenn sucks a lot. You're absolutely right, Julie. She at first tried to give her you guys saw, you were there. Some of you didn't like it. I tried my best to give Jenn her flowers, okay? And say, listen, let's try to look at it from how did I not? Was I not trying to be fair to Jenn? I was trying to be very fair to Jenn. I was being almost too fair. Some would say a bit unfair how fair I was being. I really did. You guys saw me try, right? I just want to be clear. You saw me try, right? And I said, look, let's just pretend we're the jurors and we don't know shit about this bitch. We don't know that she drinks baby blood at night. Too fair even. The fairest of the land. I tried my best. And I said, listen, if she is, in so many words, I said, don't worry about who your mother is. I'll take you to family court. I essentially said, listen, and thank you. Thank you. I said, we're going to give her the benefit of the doubt. It didn't work out. So now here we are. And the end of the court day is here, and thank you for being here. All right. So I'm going to end it. I'm going to say goodbye, good night. Thank you guys so much. Here's some Marcus campfire banter. I'll see you tomorrow because Jenn disappointed us all. She did her best and she fucked it up. So here we are. Goodbye. And thank you for having court with me today.
I'm pulling you out. I'm grabbing you. Ugh. Are you okay?
You saved my life.
He didn't do anything. He literally did not do anything.
You saved my life.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Fredrickson, you didn't do anything. Oh, man.
Oh.
Hello.
Hi, Marcus. I think you're on drugs. I think you might be on fentanyl.
Wow.
Where's he going?
Also, wait. Hold on. Hold on one second. I have no idea how loud I am right now. Listen, I've got new shirts. I forgot to show you guys. I wanted to show you these. These are my treat to you. We're only going to have them for like through the weekend, I think. That's long enough. I think that's long enough. Let me show this to you. Let me show you this shit real quick. This is temporary. Okay. This is just limited time only, like the shitty shirts, like Camp Shitty. Okay. These are just for the real ones. Because it does feel like bullying. And it probably is bullying, but it's funny. And she does kind of look like Marcus. So check this out. So we got these. We got a Jamarcus mug. We got Jamarcus totes. This is the cheap one. This is the shirt, and you can get all the different colors. So you can get all the different Jamarcus shit, okay? So there you go. And this one goes up to a 5X. This one has a V-neck. They're more expensive, which sucks, but I guess it's because they're V'd. I don't know. And then the totes there are really expensive. Like, I don't know, but they look pretty cool, I guess. And the cups, I mean, fuck. You know, I put the minimum amount. I'm going to order one of these for sure. So we got some Jamarcus, limited time for the weekend. And we do have the new shit over here. This is for the classy nerd. All right, there's a SnoopyDupa thing. And then we're doing Ricky Lake now. We got Ricky Lake parody, and we got not in living color. Why was I going to say that? Unsolved Mysteries. And over here, we got the Stussy S on some shit for you. A SnoopyDupa with a Stussy S. And we got Prawn Hub and Shrimp Tit still. And then Select Board. And if you want, I mean, it's about to get hot. But if you guys want hoodies, just tell me. I'll toss some of those in. But fucking Jamarcus for life, dude. Fuck. Limited time only. What other colors do we got here? Let me just check. Let's see what these look like. Because I looked at them. I was trying to hurry through while I paid attention. That one matches her fucking face, dude. Look at that shit. Oh, she pink. Oh, the girl is pink. I want this one. I put this color up just because it's crazy. It's very funny. It makes her stand out. And then right there. And then we got this one for all you brave bitches in white. And then a slimming black. Okay. So we got those. Jamarcus is so stupid. I love him so much. He's a worm. So yeah, we got all that. So check that out. It's in the SnoopyDupa store. Those are the new things and the temporary, okay? And maybe we'll donate them to a VR channel or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll get VR headsets with these and give one away. And we could go play in the fire with Marcus. Look at this fucking face, dude. God damn, she is just like him, isn't she? So fucking scary. Okay, I'm gonna put this back on. Back to Marcus. I love you guys so much. You're the best. Mary Malarkey, Ribbit, Bella's mom, Tombstones, Dance Kinetics, Reggie, Jules, fucking Totally Eclipse, Pumpkinhead. I love you guys so much. Mia Beano, Tombstones. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, get in the fire.
Okay. Oh, that was sick, Marcus. That was really sick. Okay. Or sorry, Shabama Bob.
Let me do it again. Let me do it again.
Okay. Okay.
How did he do it?
I don't know. Just
don't disrespect me again, Robert.
I'm sorry, Marcus. It was a mistake. My bad, man. My bad. My bad, Marcus. I don't want any trouble.
You ruined my mood.
Okay.
My happy little tinkly mood.
I'm sorry, Marcus. I'll be nicer next time.
Home Depot to get more tortilla chips.
Tortilla chips at Home Depot, huh? That's crazy. I didn't know that. All right. See you, Marcus.
See my roll? I worked so hard on it.
Oh, you did it.
They think they can get me.
Who thinks they can get you?
You think they stand a chance. I have my middle finger. It's going to go right into their little hole.
That's your thumb, Marcus. Marcus, no offense, but you lost
If
the
they
fight to
try
a...
anything silly.
You lost the fight to a rat, Marcus. Holy shit. What the fuck are you doing here?
Hello.
Hey. How have you been, Marcus?
I hope I'm not intruding.
No, not at all.
No, it's
doing
fine,
anything.
Marcus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you like gonna say anything or?
You gotta watch out, Robert.
Okay, why is that, Marcus?
This place is a dangerous place.
Aren't you a wanted felon?
I don't like this one.
What? Wait, why not?
What's wrong? What's wrong with him?
A lot, but why not?
Are you going in the Don't do that. He's killing himself. He does this sometimes.
No.
Okay.
Him.
The pain.
I'm trying to. You have your arms. Can't you fucking?
I'm in agony. Robert Malecki.
Rob, I don't know. Marcus, come here, please.
Marcus, why'd you jump in the fire?
Oh, you're such a cute. Oh,
You saved my life.
yeah, I did. Oh,
Listen here, Robert. I know you might be skeptical. This one's a keeper.
You just told me that I should avoid him.
That's a good one.
Okay, but do I keep him or do I not? He's not even gonna fucking say anything. He's just gonna walk away.
And
why is he
then you will
running?
not. He has his people to go to, I guess.
Does he fly?
Bye, Marcus.
Marcus? Shabama Bob?
Well, him, man, you're really quiet.
Shabama, you're supposed to be. Oh,
You're
my bad.
really-
It's
Shabama
not
Bob,
what it
Marcus?
looks like.
It's what it looks like. We're not doing drugs. We're doing DMT. It's different, okay? Marcus taught me DMT, okay?
Hear me out, Robert.
It's not drugs.
Fucking high.
I'm here doing it work, fixing this computer.
Marcus, that's not a computer.
IT.
If you guys want to smoke, that's fine. You don't have to pretend like you're not smoking.
It
Like
has an AMD processor.
you don't have to lie to me.
Wait.
There's no point.
Marcus, let me take a hit. Let me feel the cuticle-cores. Give me the cuticle-cores.
Okay. Shabama Bob.
That's some good DMT.
Marcus, what the hell are you doing in this haunted ass
there,
place?
Robert.
Hey, Marcus.
I'm here looking for the nearest Walgreens.
You're looking for I'm gonna be honest, I don't think they have a Walgreens.
I have a
here.
25% off coupon per can soup.
I need 1 second. Sorry, this is my friend. He gets.
You also want some soup?
I don't know if this is like an analogy for something, but Marcus, I don't think they have a Walgreens in the Resident Evil 4 village.
Canned soup.
I know what soup is. Marcus, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think they have it here.
They have chicken.
I mean, they might have chickens. Yeah.
Chicken noodle soup.
No, Marcus, I understand what soup is, but look at this place,
Do you
man.
like chicken noodle soup?
I love chicken noodle soup.
She's cute, right?
Wow.
I like Marcus.
Oh, he's a really nice guy. Marcus,
Don't
thanks. You're
look
really
at
helping
me like that.
Okay, Marcus, look, I'm on a date. I'm sorry, I don't know where a Walgreens is, but like I said, I am on a date right now, Marcus, and I think it's going pretty well.
Oh.
Yeah. No, all the shelves are empty. Okay.
I think I fit.
No, yeah, I think you look great in your little compartment there, Marcus. All right,
you don't like it.
No, I never said I don't like it.
Shut up, Robert.
Okay.
Don't pick
Give
him
me
off.
a kiss.
I don't know what I did.
I'll see you later, Marcus.
All right. See you later, Marcus. There goes running again.